You're listening to the Gabe Molina Podcast.
Hey, this is Gabe with the Gabe Molina Podcast. I'm out here at the Battle of the Alamo City, second annual. We've got a lot of cool vendors coming through today. We got some athletes as well. So fixing to queue them up. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to talking to these folks.
Hey, this is Jeremy Jacob. I'm the owner of Evolve Human Optimization Labs here in San Antonio. We're over at Bitters and 281. And Evolve is basically, we call it a social wellness playground. So we've got over 20 different services you can enjoy at your own pace. You don't have to book an appointment, and you can do as many services as you want. It's the first of its kind. So everything from cold plunges, saunas, infrared saunas, red light therapy, compression, everything you can think of for wellness and athletic recovery. We're at evolvehumanlabs.com. Social media is usually at Evolve Human Labs. And come check us out. It's a lot of fun.
Do you need an appointment?
No appointments ever required. That's the key. You can literally just pop in and start enjoying services.
And is there a time frame of how long people can be there, or is
not really, man? You can stay as long as you want. Most people are there for 2 or 3 hours, and they'll do 6 to 8 modalities in that time. We've got things that are also for meditation, mindfulness. We've even got neurocognitive training. Literally everything you'd find in a pro locker room, but then also things just to help with managing stress, anxiety, mental health, those type of things.
And so one day pass will get you access to everything?
Yep, that's right.
Awesome.
First of its kind, we invented it.
Very cool. And you're looking to expand, correct?
We are. We just started franchising, so we're building a location in Dallas. That one's for sure, but we've got a few other ones that are probably coming up. Hopefully we can announce soon. But yeah, we're franchising. So for anybody that's also looking for an incredible business opportunity, we're looking to change the way people get to interact with wellness, nationwide. We feel like this is a better way for people to enjoy wellness, because when you take away the appointments and our method is also a lot more cost effective, people can actually enjoy these modalities in the way that they're intended. So, we know from the studies you want to enjoy a sauna 2 to 3 times a week. Well, unless you got the 8 to 10 grand to build a sauna in your home, there's not really a good way to do that. So we've created a way for, $69 a month. Our memberships start out. You can come in once a week and create a real protocol. So we're calling it biohabits instead of biohacking.
Sweet,
so
man.
Consistency is the key.
And your first franchise is going to be in Dallas, correct?
Yep, that's right.
So people can expect to see you guys up there?
Yeah.
Do we have a time frame?
Hopefully. I mean, we're shooting for December, so realistically probably January 2024. And it's going to be, for the folks familiar with Dallas, it's going to be right at Mockingbird and 75. So great location, plenty of parking there. And we're really excited about it because we get to even take it up another notch. So it's going to be a beautiful facility.
Sweet, man. Well, I'm excited for you. And folks, go check out Evolve Human Optimization Labs.
Yeah, that's the full part.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeremy.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you, brother.
My name is Dr. Arturo Elias. I am with Matador Rehab and Performance. We are a sport chiropractic clinic that blends strength, rehab, and performance to better treat our patients and our athletes. So we're here at BATAC for this awesome event. You can find us online at Matador RP. What's the other thing? Contact info. Yeah, website is Matador RP. Everything is Matador RP.
What is y'all's address? Where are y'all located in San Antonio?
We're over northwest side of town on De Zavala and I-10.
Okay,
right
cool.
by Clark High,
Okay.
kind of by the rim.
Awesome.
So very accessible off I-10.
And do y'all do, you said mostly sports and athletics?
Sports and athletics, but we do take care of general pop, any sprain, strain, post-rehabs, surgical stuff. If it's a muscle, tendon, ligament, we can take care of you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we help with everything from 7-year-olds to 90-year-olds. We do it all.
How long you been in business?
We've been in business for 3 years now.
Okay.
During COVID, and just been taking off since there. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's been an awesome time, and we love being in San Antonio. Went to UTSA, O'Connor and Helotes, and then Houston for TCC. But now I'm back in San Antonio, and I'm not going anywhere.
What is your background as far as your education and what interested you in getting into this field?
Yeah, so my bachelor's is in exercise science and physiology, and then I majored in strength and conditioning as well. I was a strength and conditioning coach for about 4 years, actually. And then I made the leap, went the clinical route, went to chiropractic school in Houston, did 4 years of school there, and then I worked a year in Houston. Decided Houston wasn't for me, too much traffic.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, came back to San Antonio. My family's here, and obviously I just love San Antonio. So over the years, I have a lot of background with combat sports, CrossFit, weightlifting. I'm kind of well-rounded in every aspect, so I've seen a little bit of everything, and I love helping people get out of pain and functioning and performing their best.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's where we're at with that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, tell everybody your website and your social media one more time.
Yeah. So it's matadorrp.com, and all the social media is Matador RP. So Matador Rehab and Performance, we shorten it to RP.
Awesome, man.
Cool.
Well, I appreciate you coming by.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kryptonite. I'm with Alamo City Roller Girls, and we play roller derby here in San Antonio. And this is...
Hi, I'm Purple Reina, and I am with the Alamo City Roller Girls, the one and only WFTDA Roller Derby League in San Antonio, Texas, representing as always. And I'm part of the board of directors, and I'm also a referee. So watch it, y'all.
What? How long has y'all's organization been wrecking shop in San Antonio?
Since 2005.
Wow. How long have y'all been playing?
I've been in it for 8 years now.
Okay.
I started in 2012.
Okay. Wow.
So done a lot of things, been a lot of names, been in the leadership, been a skater, so kind of all over the sport because I do like to learn about the sport that I've chosen and I love, so that's what I do.
Awesome. And how many teams are in y'all's organization that y'all compete against?
We've got 2 travel teams,
Okay.
an A team and a B team, Las Tejanas and Las Pistoleras.
Oh, nice.
And then we have 2 home teams, and the home teams play against each other.
Okay.
So that's the Bradley Bombshells and the Las Luchadoras.
Awesome. And where do y'all compete out of?
Right here.
Right here
at Mission Conception.
Really? Here in the gym? Mm-hmm. Okay. When's y'all's next event?
Our next one is November 17th. Yes.
Okay.
November 17th here.
And what time do y'all typically get started?
I think that one's at 4. Lately they've been at 4. Yeah.
Okay.
It's usually in the mid to early evening.
Now, for somebody who's a novice who doesn't know what you guys do, what can somebody expect when they come to your event?
It's a family-friendly, fun environment. Bring the kids.
Okay.
Bring the husband. Bring the wife. Bring everybody out. We do have like halftime games. Lots of derby action. It's a full contact sport. It's very exciting. It's fast-paced. We have a great announcer who's
Awesome.
very lively, who we love.
She doesn't happen to be sitting next to you.
No,
does she?
no, no,
'Cause
no,
She
no.
was giggling like it was her.
No, she's giggling because she knows that she makes it fun. It's just roller derby's different. It's not any sport you've ever seen before.
Yeah.
The whole environment is different, so you got to come out and see it.
How long does an event last? Typically, let's say the one coming up starts at 4. How long can folks, if they're bringing their kids, are they going to be here all night, or is it a few hours, or how long are we talking?
No, about lasts an hour. So
Okay.
you might be here hour and a half, 2 hours with all the festivities and the halftime show and things like
Awesome.
that.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you on social media. And
Our website is alamocityrollergirls.com, and we are on all the things. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. AC Roller Girls is our handle, and come follow us.
awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
So I'm Lina Prado. I'm running for County Commissioner for Precinct 1.
Okay, awesome. How long have you been in politics?
So this is my first time running for politics. So I'm a businesswoman. I'm a mother, a businesswoman. I have a nonprofit, and my job is just to make sure residents are being heard and want to be able to express my leadership and my experience and put it back into the community. And running for office seems like the perfect thing where I can give back.
What is your nonprofit?
So I have a nonprofit I started, co-founded. It's called Women Aviation. So we provide opportunities for girls to experience flight and careers in aviation.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing that?
10 years. We turn 10 years next year.
Really?
Yes.
Outstanding. Well, very good. What brought you
Yes.
out to the competition today?
So I actually am hosting an event with the Unity Training Center and the Culinary Ninja on October 27th. We're going to be giving ladies an opportunity to learn about self-defense, especially if you're a runner, if you're just a mom, just a person that's out in the community. Crime is going up, and we
Sure.
need to ensure that you are not the next victim. So we are educating and providing that opportunity to learn about how to different tricks about self-defense.
Awesome. And when is that? When is it again, and where is it at?
So it's going to be October the 27th.
Okay.
You can go through eBright and register, but it's going to be at Unity Training Center in the south side of San Antonio.
Awesome. And where can folks find you personally on your journey for running for this office?
So you can go through lina-prado.com for my website, or you can go to Vote for Lina Prado for Instagram, and also
Instagram.
what is it? The new Twitter? X.
Oh, X.
The new Twitter X.
I'm still learning them too. So.
Yeah, or you can go to the Lina Prado campaign on Facebook, and that's how you can find us, and you can see all the information about registering for the women's self-defense class.
Awesome. Well, Lina, thank you so much, and good luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's make sure that we keep Precinct 1 safe and that we provide opportunities for everybody. I want to say congratulations to everyone that is here, because small businesses, and especially those that are providing opportunities for our youth, is the important thing that makes Precinct 1 the best place to live.
Thank you, ma'am.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Coach Larry Smith. I'm with Texas Panthers, TXP. We rock. Yes. Right here I have
Hi, I'm Coach Patrick, the 2028 assistant coach.
Yes, and I'm Coach Jimmy Lunsford. I coach the 2027 age group, and I'm also vice president of this great, fun-loving organization.
I'm Coach Steph. I am assistant coach for Lady TXP. Woo woo! It's not just for boys anymore. So, ladies, if you're interested, come on out. We have a lot of fun. I love
So
this organization.
this is all baskbasketball, correct?
All basketball.
All
Okay.
basketball.
And how long has y'all been in business as far as your organization?
2021.
One.
Okay.
2021.
Okay, awesome. And where do y'all play out of?
Well, we practice out of the Gervin Academy.
Okay.
and-
That's here downtown, right?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
And we're mostly a travel team.
Okay. So y'all go all over the place then.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, yeah, we do a lot of local stuff as well too. Usually at the what's that? The
Alamo Sportsplex.
Alamo Sportsplex.
Okay.
And then we've had some travel up in Austin, Red Rock, Houston. I've done Orlando for the Nationals.
That's
Football
awesome.
players back there did the Nationals in Orlando, and now we're looking at Las Vegas and
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that's some serious traveling.
yeah,
So what's the most difficult part about moving so many kids across the country?
so many kids.
So many kids.
It'd be easier to just herd cats or earthworms, but yeah.
So let me ask you this: Where can your website, as far as people going, can they donate to you guys, or how does because it can't be cheap moving that many people? How do y'all get funded? Is it through I guess people paying their dues, or can people donate to the organization or the league?
Well, at the moment, we're doing a lot of fundraising amongst our families.
Okay.
You know, families and friends and things like that. We would love if we had, someone who had confidence in us and sponsored the organization. Because we started with 13 players,
Oh wow,
and now we're up to almost 100.
100.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I think a little
And
bit
that's in a
over
short
100
period of
right now.
time.
It's a very short period of time. So it's a huge amount of progress done, and it's being funded basically by us.
Awesome. And then you said the girls are in this now,
Oh,
right?
girls are in this.
How many ladies do you have playing?
Right now we have 9
Yeah,
total.
9.
Started with 6.
Start with 6.
Started
Wow.
with 6. Yeah. It's all about the positive attitude and supporting each other, and especially it's from elementary to high school. You kind of grow with your team, and you have that camaraderie with each other and that trust, and just you have a different outlet.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you can't tell people at school things that are going on, but you get in your team and you feel like you're one. It's family.
Yeah.
It's TXP. We move different.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so when is y'all's next event?
Well, we just had one last night. We had a tournament.
Oh, really? How'd y'all
tournament
do?
game last night? We won.
Nice.
Right.
Good job.
We did a really. I'm proud of my boys.
Yeah.
All right. They did a really good job last night. And this is a Friday night league tournament that we're playing. So it's one game every Friday for the next 6 Fridays.
Okay.
7?
7 weeks.
7 weeks. And their first game last night, they rocked.
That's
They
awesome.
rocked. As a matter of fact, my son is on that team. And they did a real good job last night. They stayed positive. They stayed connected to the game. They held each other up. and they held each other to accountability, and they held each other, themselves to accountability, and kept the excitement and the flow going.
Yeah.
And once one person did it, it becomes effective. It's like an infection, and everybody stayed positive. So the game just flowed. They smiled through the whole thing. They had a good time. I had a good time.
That's awesome. There's one thing that you guys are probably learning currently is you learn so much about life through sports. You exist in this small little microcosm where there's failure, there's success, there's joy, there's anger, there's pain, and it all happens at a young age where it's in an arena where the consequences are not high, right? But it gives you the opportunity to experience those experiences so that as you get older and you go out in the world, you've been exposed to that. So when the consequences get higher, you already know how to deal with that adversity, and you learn how to win too. So that's the great thing about sports. So I love what you guys are doing.
And that's exactly what we strive to do. It's not only just about wins and losses, but it's about also building character. Like she says, though, that we move different. We want them to be those successful students, excellent with their siblings, and just good all-around kids with a nice base and foundation, because, as you say, that they learn now.
Yeah.
And then as they transition to the older and then adulthood, all those things are going to stick. That there's a saying that says, that train up a child.
Yeah.
And that's what that we try to do, is train them. And that's what that we do. On the court, yes, we work hard, but we want them to also be an excellent example off the court as well.
Absolutely.
And that's what we strive to do.
So y'all may have said it already, and I'm sure I missed it, but what are the age groups for the boys and girls? And I guess what age group do y'all currently have? What age group are y'all seeking? Or what age group are y'all looking for players in?
Well, we currently have starting at 5th grade.
No, right now we have 8th grade.
Okay.
8th grade all the way up to 10th grade. We have one 8th grade team, one 9th grade team, and two 10th grade teams.
Okay.
And we're currently looking for 5th and 6th and 7th.
Okay.
The ladies, they're on, well, right now all of our teams are on break except for the 8th grade team. We're going to go hot and heavy in April as soon as the Texas State playoffs is done.
Okay.
And we're shooting for their first tournaments in Arizona.
Cool.
Because I got to get these guys in
That's
NCAA hosted tournaments for D1, D2, D3 recruits looking at these guys, because I have a lot of underprivileged players that they're going to make it out of San Antonio. That's one of our biggest goals, is to get these players looked at. Our organization is small. I'm not the Futures or the Hard Works or Pro Skills. We're just a family-oriented organization.
That's awesome.
The little guys just want to be seen. So,
well, let me tell you what. In doing this, I've had an opportunity to meet some pretty cool people, and you'd be amazed at how many high-performance athletes are in San Antonio, how many really intelligent folks are in San Antonio, how many interesting artists. It's all in San Antonio. So it's funny because, growing up, I grew up in a real small town, and to me, to be the things that you saw on TV was way over there. It was nowhere near me. I had no access to it, and it was almost a dream that couldn't exist. Here in San Antonio, all that exists, and there's no reason why it can't be you. Just got to put in the work, and things will happen. So you're in a good environment for it. And then on the girls' side, what is the age group you have, and what are you looking for?
We have the 8th grade. We have our high schoolers, and we're looking. What grades we want to start off for ladies?
6th and 7th.
6th and 7th.
That's cool.
And it's. I'm not asking that you come knowing how to play the game. I'm not asking that you have all the fundamentals together. We want to build.
Yeah.
We want to build. We want to grow. We want you to build that confidence as well as your skill, right? And that's, like you said, you have a lot of underprivileged players, and that's why we seek sponsorship, because we can only do so much out of our own pockets, but we love what we do, so we try.
That's awesome.
And coming from a small town too, it's like you don't have very many opportunities, right? And when you get to reach these kids and it's a break from whatever they're going through in life, and they get that moment to be with you as a coach and see somebody that believes in them, even though if they go home to whatever's going on, it kind of just builds them up. It builds their spirit, it builds their character, and it gives them a sense of confidence in knowing that there is somebody out there that cares.
Yeah.
And we do.
That's awesome. Well, I'm super excited, and I'm glad I got to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, they're glad to be here.
Really glad to be here.
And then, though, like the way I always say, could go Panthers. As always, keep balling.
Keep balling.
The thing is, no work, no reward. So.
That's right. Well, we'll swap out the kids. Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Good.
Thank you for coming out here. So you guys are on the Panthers as well, right? So tell me your name, your age group, and let me have it.
My name is Takori Dodson. I play for the 2027 Panthers. Point guard, shooting guard, anything really. I mean, that's pretty much all.
What's your age?
I'm 14.
Okay. And you?
My name's Declan Daniel. I play for 2028. I'm a guard in general. Yeah, I'm 13.
13. All right. And you?
My name is Zayden Clark. I'm 15, class of 2026, and I play post.
Awesome.
I'm Ivy Surangel, and I play for Lady TXP, and I'm 15, and I play post.
Awesome.
I'm Diego Corral. I'm 15. I play for 2026 Panthers. And I play guard, big, both.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit. Y'all can take turns, but what is it about being in this league that you enjoy the most?
It's very inspiring, and just the way that how everybody comes together in this organization, and how just like I guess like how family, like how loving and caring, and I would say like encouraging, like uprising everybody is to each other, and just how like I guess like comfortable everybody is with each other. Like there's no like judging or like outcasting anybody. Like it's really good.
That's good. That's good atmosphere. What about you guys?
I have a lot of fun playing with this team, and the more time I spend with them, the more comfortable I get. So, yeah.
That's awesome. They make y'all run a lot?
Sometimes.
So what do you guys like most about it?
I can be myself at practice and at games. I feel like there's kind of like a boundary at school, but when I'm with TXP, it just all goes away, and I can be myself.
That's cool. You gotta like something.
I like the organization because it's encouraging. It pushes me to work my hardest, be the better version of myself. Push my teammates to their limits. Somebody doesn't make a shot, you try to uplift them, tell them it's okay.
That's awesome. And you?
It's just positive place to play basketball.
Yeah.
It's just very competitive. It's just a good place to play basketball.
Well, I was going to ask you that too. Like, as far as the competitive nature, is there an aspect to it that really pushes you to work a little harder, or do you find that it's I'm sure there's competitiveness everywhere you go, but as far as other places that you've played before, what is the level of competitiveness that you guys find in this league? Pretty high?
I feel like it's pretty competitive.
Cool. Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all coming out. I thank y'all for coming on the podcast, and good luck to y'all for the rest of the season and the one coming up. And go girls!
All right. Who's gonna close out? Somebody's got to close out.
Everybody, yeah.
Panthers on me, family on 6. 1, 2, 3, Panthers! 4, 5, 6, family!
Thank you, Panthers.
My name is Shelby Lehue, and I'm the Life Cleric. I own Primal Strength and Performance and Primal Snacks with my husband. At Primal Strength and Performance, we've got a couple things going on, but first thing I wanted to show you today is actually our snacks.
Snacks?
Yeah.
You saw me coming, didn't you?
I love snacks, too. I don't know if I met somebody who said they didn't like snacks. I don't know if we could be friends.
I don't think I would want to be their friend.
No,
so,
no.
If they don't like snacks and body hair, it's a wrap for me.
You're like, I'm sorry, we just live in two different worlds, and we're just going to have to stay there.
So what do you have?
All right, so
It
I've
looks
got,
interesting.
It is interesting. It does look interesting, too. So I've got a a high protein granola sample here for you,
Okay.
and I've got a protein bar sample. So
Okay.
which one would you like to try first?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with the granola.
Let's try the granola first.
There's not enough for you, Nina. Oh.
Well, I actually also brought you a whole bag of the protein granola.
So what flavor are we looking at?
We'll just say honey flavored for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Ah, crunchy. That was a good crunch.
Yeah.
I'm usually not wearing much clothes when I listen to that, but that's really good.
Okay, I'm glad you like it.
It's
I
very good.
like to think of it as like an adult cereal. It's
Mhm.
actually how it started. It was me trying to make some cereal. And then so the next product we've got is a protein bar. So both products are high protein. Our granola is per serving 20 grams of protein to 14 carbs.
Okay.
And then our protein bar, the whole bar is 35 grams of protein to 27 carbs. And a lot of these protein products on the market have like seed oils, weird ingredients, different allergens. So either maybe nuts or grains. But here, let me introduce Dalton.
Oh no, just so.
Point to the mic.
Oh.
Yeah, you were looking at it, so it was
Oh.
kind of got a little faded out. But go ahead. No, go ahead. This is really good.
Thank you. So yeah, I wanted to create a product. My husband and I shouldn't exclude him, but we wanted to create a product that didn't have seed oils, grains, nuts, allergens, like a lot of the things that people are allergic to, and then also have a protein bar that's not just like a glorified candy bar. Either that or like when it does have good macros, tastes really bad.
So let me ask you this without giving me too much information, because I'm sure you don't want people to know everything. But when you take out something, how do you replace those?
Well, I'm going to answer your question with a question.
Oh, no.
What do you think is in it?
Now I'm going back to what's left of my teeth.
Well, I think there's more sample for you. I also have a little baggie.
Then I can't talk very well.
Fair enough.
What is that? Is it coconut? Are we putting coconut?
That's a decent guess. It's a decent guess.
I'm getting a little taste of coconut.
Would you like me to share?
Oh no! Now I'm nervous because he's laughing so hard.
So the protein source is beef.
I tasted beef.
I taste beef.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
very subtle. It's in the background, but when you first guess it, I'd say maybe 1% of the
I have
people
like
who try
beef
it.
jerky right here. Taste.
Right in the back, the aftertaste. But that first taste
That's
is like
pretty awesome.
sweet honey.
Mhm.
So yeah, our protein bar is beef, honey, gelatin, salt. We do a little bit of a collagen dusting to keep it from sticking. And then the carnivore crunch is beef, honey, a little bit of sugar to get that crunch, and then collagen salt.
That's so awesome.
Super simple ingredients, no allergens in it. And then one of the awesome things about beef is it's very bioavailable. When you're eating like soy protein or some of these super processed proteins, your body can't utilize it as well. So not only is it whole food ingredients, but it's also really bioavailable. And I actually had a woman earlier said, I can't eat protein bars because it makes my stomach hurt and I feel really sick. And I gave her a sample. She came back later and was like, how many can I get for $20?
Do you think that was maybe because of her exposure to like maybe peanuts or something? Since y'all don't have it.
Potentially.
Man,
Yeah, potentially.
that's cool.
So yeah, we're super excited here. I bought
That
a
is
sample for you,
awesome.
and
Thank
on
you
the
so
back, we've
much.
got a 10% off code for your first order.
Cool.
Yeah.
So tell me this: where all this is interconnected, right? So like,
Yes.
okay, because
Yeah.
there's multiple businesses happening here.
Yes.
Okay.
We came in with kind of couple booths going on today.
Okay.
Yeah. So our gym, the gym we work out of, is Primal Strength and Performance.
Okay.
We started Primal Snacks. This has actually been about 3 months of a venture recently. I was making this for ourselves, and one of our friends was like, "You have to sell this."
Oh, so this is 3
Primal
months.
Snacks is 3 months, yes.
Okay,
The gym's
awesome.
been around a bit longer, but we were trying to do, some brand recognition, keep it similar. So currently we're selling it outside of the gym, but we recently just opened up online ordering, and we're trying to expand and share with the world.
That's awesome. Where's the gym located?
Gym is located at Brook Hollow in 281.
Okay.
So a lot of people know where like that HEB and Whataburger is,
Yeah.
or where the Hollow Bar is.
Yeah, that's her gig.
So yeah, the gym is Primal Strength and Performance, and I haven't let Dalton introduce himself, but he works out of there as well. Let him introduce himself.
Yeah, so my name's Dalton McIntyre. You can find me at the.muscle.specialist. So, yeah, I mean, we do what's called muscle activation techniques, or MAT for short. For the most part, this is kind of akin to like a neural therapy. So The way I like to explain it to a lot of people is like we've got physical therapy. You know, you tear your bicep, something like that. Yeah, it sucks. You know, it's a physiological issue, right? So we go through physical therapy, we go through all that, get everything strong again for the most part physiologically. But we forget about something super important. It's kind of like the highway between, right? Cables that connect to the muscle from the brain. So central nervous system. Well, so part of our job is to come in and basically kind of like reconnect that. So we'll go through, use a manual therapy, MAT, and we'll go through and stimulate the muscle spindles for the more technical terms and whatnot. But basically we're going to go through and start poking around towards those muscle tendinous insertions and help start stimulating that muscle connection.
That's interesting.
Kind of like tightening the battery cables.
Yeah.
The car works. The battery's charged. I'm not great at cars. Battery's charged. But the cables, when they're a little bit loose, you can't get the car to start. So tightening those battery cables, but in your body.
So you achieve that through like stretching and
A little bit different. A little bit opposite.
It's new to me.
It's new to a lot of people.
Yeah, so it's been around for a long time.
Really?
I say long time, but it's been around since not early, but late 90s probably.
Late 90s, yeah.
Yeah, so, but not a whole lot of people know about it, but what we do is we go through an assessment of the body, range of motion assessments. We can go through active, passive, or we have what's called the RX that Shelby does as well. And basically we go through, we find, okay, well, where's a gross difference in range of motion from side to side, right? And then from there, we'll go through, we have the ability to test pretty much almost every muscle. And when we test it, we're not necessarily testing it in isolation. We're testing it through, okay, how can we bias this muscle the most? And so what we're doing is we find one that can't hold its position in a shortened position or in a contracted position. And then from there, we'll go through, stimulate that muscle with a manual technique, and then go back and retest it to basically lock that muscle in.
Okay.
I have a little bit of a shortened version for those who can't do the fancy words.
I'm slowly following,
So-
but yeah, I was going to go Google some of that.
So this is kind of like my quick elevator pitch I give to people about MAT. So let's say I have one shoulder that internally rotates here, and then the other shoulder only comes here, and I just can't get it any further. That tells us that, hey, the internal rotators on this shoulder just aren't working to pull you into position.
Yeah.
So that's when he goes in, like he was talking about the muscle testing. We just give you this little push. If you can hold it, muscle's working. If you can't hold it, muscle's not working very well.
Oh, wow.
And so that's when we go in, we poke the beginning and the end of the muscle, and then all of a sudden, once we've treated every muscle that's limited, all of a sudden, bam, rotation's the same.
So this is a range of motion issue. Like, so for me, being somebody who's just off the street, getting older, having some issues with range of motion, that's an indicator that I might need to go see somebody like you guys,
Absolutely.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What else is an indicator? Not just the range of motion, but I guess is it maybe all encompass like physical pain?
Yeah. So
like-
a lot of times people will come and see us for things like pain. While we're not licensed medical professionals or anything like that, well, you're a massage therapist, licensed massage therapist, but
Yeah.
like we don't treat pain.
Okay.
So what we actually treat is dysfunction.
Right.
So if somebody comes in, they have something that is dysfunctional, we can help restore that function of muscular. So like she was saying about
But
the
that can
rotation.
help with the pain, right?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, so
Yeah.
like, okay, when you have a doctor that diagnoses you with tendonitis or sciatica or plantar fasciitis, anything with an itis is inflammation. Sciatica, like all of these things are symptoms. So we're not actually treating your symptoms. The pain is a symptom.
Gotcha.
The tightness that you're feeling in your hamstrings is a symptom.
Gotcha.
So if you have people going in and treating symptoms, like let's say massage, and I'm a massage therapist, I find value in it. But if I go in and your hamstrings are tight and I just like dig in on your hamstrings, you're not actually fixing the dysfunction, and you might be making some of the problem worse.
Gotcha.
Our body has a lot of defense mechanisms to keep you safe whenever you hurt yourself, and we all abuse our bodies over the years. So going in and digging in on the tight muscles, you're really just making the problem worse by digging in on the muscles that have tightened up to keep you protected.
Gotcha.
So we're going in and we're treating and activating the weak muscles. If your hamstrings are tight, your glutes, low back are tight, chances are your hip flexors and your trunk flexors are weak. And when we say weak, it's not, it's not how much can you squat, how much can you press. I've got I've got 800-pound squatters that I push over. They're not weak people, but the brain and the muscle battery cables are loose.
I got you.
So whenever we go in and tighten those battery cables, that's when all of a sudden the hamstrings start to loosen up, the glutes and the back loosen up, and the pain goes away.
Yeah.
So yeah, like pain is a symptom. Itis, inflammation, is a symptom. Tendinitis, plantar fasciitis.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess my other question is, y'all work on fat people because I might need to swing by.
I've had 84-year-old clients. Before.
Really?
I've had, I think my largest client's been 500 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah. You know what's funny is...
That's why I hired him.
You know, it's funny because... it's been years. But I have this weird... And at first I thought it was maybe sciatica. I don't know what it is. But I have this weird spot on my lower right. And throughout the day, I'm fine.
Uh-huh.
You know, I have this old green crate over there that I put all this heavy stuff in. So for years, I would throw it on the shoulder and I'd walk in and out. And slowly, I started feeling like this weird thing happening on my lower right side. And so it's gotten to the point, you can ask her, she's irritated with me. Because it's she said it's annoying. It's like this overwhelming pain to get out of bed in the morning because I'm so stiff. And you know, I'll go sit down in the living room maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then I can get up and I'm good to go. But it's that getting out of bed, bending for the first time, and I'm not gonna lie, I scream because even rolling onto my back to lay down, I sleep on a harder bed now. But even just to do that, I'll get this weird spasm that goes all the way across the back. But here lately, I've been using weed cream. But and so it's kind of centralized back to where it started.
Yeah.
Because it had kind of migrated across. But the other thing is I walk stupid. I'm a fat old dude. You know, I wear these old boots that make me, I guess, pronate maybe is what it is.
Yeah.
So there's all these little weird things that I do that probably contribute. But man, swing by your place.
You should. And, you know,
sure.
when you mentioned the feet, everything stacks on top of the feet. So, you know, if you have the feet rounding out and coming out to the side, well, now your knees can't move in the direction they want to. So your hips can't, and then your back can't, and then your neck can't. And the body is just this system of integrated parts. And if one part isn't working properly, the rest doesn't work properly.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it is a bit of a commitment. We can't undo decades of dysfunction in an hour. But, man, the clients that I've had committed do so good. Alex is a great example.
Yep.
I have a client a couple years ago. I say a couple. It's probably been a while now. But he had cancer. He was obese, and he had all these health issues. And, you know, he's fixed one thing at a time. So... recovered from cancer, he's lost a bunch of weight, but then all of these years of stressors really took a toll on his body.
Yeah.
And so, you know, his posture was really poor. He extreme pain from like his neck down into his arms, back down into his legs, and tried the chiropractor, tried physical therapy, all of these things, just really wasn't working for him. And I remember the first day I had him in my room, he, when he was sitting on the table, literally could not sit up.
Really?
And I'm like trying not to panic in front of him because I'm like, oh my God, this guy can't sit up. Like, I don't even know how to get started with him. I did. It went great. But now the before and after photos. In the before photos, his shoulders are sideways, back is rounded, neck is pinched up. And in about 4 months of weekly appointments being extremely consistent, shoulders are even, back is straightening out. He's playing a little bit of soccer again.
That's
able to
awesome.
Kick the ball back and forth around the yard, going on walks with his daughter. And he's like, I need to do this for my daughter. And it's been life changing. The amount of tears that have happened in the room for a good reason.
Yeah. I'm a crier girl.
Yeah. You might be crying with Dalton one day. But it's been really, it's been a blessing to get to be part of people's health journey and be a big tool in it. And I'm sure Dalton would say the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been in the fitness thing for like 10 plus years at this point. Like the whole reason I was going to go to chiro school, I chose not to. I've got all my prereqs and everything for it. Yeah, you can thank her for that.
She said, you don't need to go to school. Come over here.
Well, the funny part is she was going to go to PT. So
okay.
Yeah.
this is just another avenue that we've used at this point. Like I combine it with what I also do with like movement consultations and things like that. So it's like there's so many different avenues we can attack this from. It's like now that we have a tool like MAT in our toolbox that we can, you go see a physical therapist, you go see a chiropractor, and it's like the same thing as always. You know, I don't feel like I get immediate relief, or I get immediate relief, but it's not lasting. It's like, cool, well, there's something else that we're missing with all of these conventional physical therapy, chiropractic, all of this stuff, surgery. Like we always leave out the central nervous system and things like that. And it's like, that's a whole, when I'm going to use a phrase that the founder of MAT uses, like when you combine a skeletal system, a muscle system, endocrine, hormonal, all of it, like it no longer becomes as simple as this is just this one piece.
Yeah.
It's like all of it becomes integrated, and you're only as strong as your weakest link.
And you talked about tightening cables, and it literally is a motor. It's an engine, right? Yeah. It's got exactly. Moving parts. It's got stable parts. It's got wiring. It needs fluids. It's everything. And a lot of times, we want a simple fix. We want to go do something one time and be better. And as I've gotten older, I realize that's not always going to be the case. No. especially at this age. It's funny because I get to the point where I'm like, you start putting up with the chronic pain, and you go, this is just every day. Like she'll tell me what's wrong, and I'm like, this is every day, Mm-hmm. And so slowly, you start to acknowledge the fact that you've got to find other avenues to fix problems, because if you don't, you're not going to get better because of your age, right? It's like at a certain point, when you're younger, you sit out a week, sit out 2 weeks, things get better, you move on. And now it's if you're not conscious about taking steps toward fixing issues, they may not get fixed, and you're going to be able to do less and less as you get older.
Well, serious question. How many times have you taken your car into the shop?
Oh, it's a Toyota, so not very many.
I mean, Toyota's a pretty reliable brand. But think about it. New car. You don't have to take a new car into the shop very often.
Sure.
You have 200,000 miles on your car. You're going to be taking it in the shop more.
Yeah.
And so we treat our cars better than we treat our bodies.
Unfortunately, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you're giving it routine oil changes, filling it up with gas all the time. You're always making sure you're putting the right fuel in it. And so all of these things we do to our cars, if we treated our bodies the way we treated our cars, our bodies would be doing much better. And then, same thing with the cars. The more miles you put on it, the faster it breaks down. If you have a low mileage car, it's not going to have as many problems.
Yeah.
But if you've got a vehicle with 250,000 miles on it, you're going to recognize, this is going to need a lot more work. So I like to think of it as, we are vehicles. And then if you have somebody who's a power lifter, strongman, CrossFit, they're like NASCAR. Whereas if you have somebody who's just like your general population, they're just maybe Paw who only drives a couple miles to go to the grocery store, right? Well, Paw's truck's not going to need maintenance very often. He doesn't do much.
Yeah.
NASCAR needs maintenance mid-race.
Yeah.
So when you're comparing us to vehicles, you've got a different amount of care that's needed. So like my husband, for example, Blake, he gets treated twice a week. He's an elite level power lifter. He's pushing his body to the limits very frequently. And 2 times a week, that's maintenance for him. Yeah. For somebody else, that wouldn't be maintenance. For someone else, like one of my clients, she's a retired lady, pitter-patters around her garden all the time. She doesn't need maintenance frequently. She's not pushing her body. She's not putting as many forces and as many stresses on her body. So maintenance is a lot different. And I think it's difficult because athletes, they're training really hard. They're maybe foam rolling, sitting in saunas. They're doing all of the things that are really important for them. But like he was saying, that neurological aspect is missing in a lot of people's recovery.
Yeah.
And it's hard to
it's hard to bring something forward that you can't see, right?
Yeah.
Like
well, I was going to
see
say
your physical body all the time.
Yeah.
And
I was going to say a lot of times
that.
we're just thinking muscles, bones, and joints, and that's where our
and that's the thing. It's like muscles move bones, and they hold bones in position. But what sends that signal? It's the brain. But how does that get back and forth between the two?
Yeah.
That's that central nervous system.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell folks again. All this information over here, I wrote stuff on a board.
Yeah,
well, I forget.
So I'm Shelby Lehue. I'm the life cleric,
okay.
And I own Primal Strength and Performance. We're a powerlifting gym in San Antonio. We've got about 9,000 pounds of kilo plates. It's in
Wow.
kilos, but we've got 2 mono lifts, 7 deadlift platforms, 7 combo racks. We are a powerlifting gym, so if you're looking at getting stronger with squat, bench, and deadlift, Primal Strength and Performance is definitely the place to be, and I'm also an MAT practitioner.
And does the MAT happen out of the same facility?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's why we're like, we got all these businesses.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. No, that's awesome. And then naming.
Again, Dalton McIntyre, the muscle specialist on Instagram. Same place. I would literally work right next to her. Our treatment rooms are side by side. MAT, movement consultations, all of it. You can find us.
Find us where if you ever want to book an appointment with us, you can go to primalstrengthsa.com/MAT or just primalstrengthsa.com and you'll find it there.
Awesome.
If you're interested in our snacks, the Instagram handle and website is Eat Primal Snacks. So website eatprimalsnacks.com. And if you're interested in getting a 10% off your first order, there's a code FIRST10, and you can get 10% off your first order.
Awesome. And there's meat in it, y'all.
There's meat
no
in
nuts,
it.
all meat. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us. It was
Absolutely.
great to meet you.
Thank you for coming by.
For sure.
Howdy. My name is Logan Phillips, and this is my wife, Lauren Walls. So we own a gym here in San Antonio, Texas called Paradise City Gym.
Paradise?
Yep. So we've been around since 2019. Once the pandemic hit, that's kind of when we opened up, and we started in our garage, actually.
Oh, wow.
Actually, prior to that, what we used to do, our main goal was to sponsor athletes.
Okay.
We're competitive powerlifters, but by nature, so we wanted to give people an opportunity to compete that had not competed before. Everyone gets the big sponsorship, so we said, hey, we'll pick about 5 athletes, and we'll pay for a gym membership. We'll pay for their shirts, hoodies, singlets, enter them into the meets. And we had that going for a few months with a group of athletes, and then the gym we were training out of, because that was before we had any gym, it closed down due to the pandemic. And afterwards, we had a few things in our gym. We actually started with just the squat rack and a yoga mat on the floor. And then what else we have? A little rinky-dink full body machine.
Yeah.
Remember that thing?
Like one of those total body, like a...
Oh, like a Bowflex kind of thing?
No, it was like the Weeders. So I was on Next Door, and someone was giving it out for free. Like, this was right before the pandemic hit.
Hey, Joe Weeder was selling stuff like crazy in the 80s and 90s.
And I saw it, and I was like, well, I might as well just go pick it up, So we had a power rack, and then that little thing. And we had a yoga mat, and literally that was it. We'd put the yoga mat underneath the power rack, and we would use that as a grip.
Slip.
Yeah, on the concrete floor.
You had to. You guys got started in a weird time with COVID.
Yeah,
you had to be super creative to stay up.
We did. So what happened was during that time I was working at Anytime Fitness as a general manager, and once it closed, I was like, man, what am I gonna do now? What are my clients gonna do? Yada yada yada. And then one of my clients called, and he said, hey, can I come work out at your garage? And I was like, what? And he goes, can I come work out at your garage? And I was like, yeah. I was like, but it's kind of hazardous because of COVID and blah. He's like, yeah, I'll pay you. It's fine. And I was like, you'll pay me? He's like, yeah, you're still my trainer, right? And I was like, okay, well, yeah. So
then from there, we would get people on Instagram that would see us working out in the gym, and they would call us or message us on Instagram and say, hey, we saw. So eventually we got a leg press. Super excited about that. That made our whole life.
That's awesome.
They dropped it off on the truck. We posted it, and people started, hey, we see you have a leg press. We see you have some bars. Can we come work out? Yeah. We'd get people from Dallas, Houston, Austin.
No kidding. From that far away? Yeah.
Just to come work out, and I would be looking in the peephole from the door.
Yeah.
I would just open up.
Was it a little creepy when random people would show up?
So what we ended up doing was we were like, well, let's kind of turn this into something legit, because we started getting this money accumulating in and everything, and so we bought mats, and we saw that other gyms closed down, and they were selling some equipment, so we bought equipment off of them, and we started putting stuff in that garage like it was an actual little gym setup.
Yeah.
And people were coming, because how they know us is I'm an international elite level powerlifter.
Okay.
I've totaled my best total is 1988.
Wow.
In the gym, best total in a meet was 1865, I believe.
Now, so people listening to this know that that weight is accumulated over 3 events.
Yes.
And it's
bench,
squat,
deadlift.
bench, and deadlift.
Yep.
Okay.
And so people knew me from powerlifting.
So divide that shit by 3.
Yeah.
It's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I was getting super close to 2,000.
Wow, that's awesome.
But yeah, so they would come, and we made it kind of legit, and they would work out, and we kind of started making a business out of it.
And so then from there, when things kind of started opening up again, we decided, well, let's try to get a building. Well, no one would rent to a gym because they said it's just going to close again.
So a big liability.
So this was right when barely even doctors' offices started opening again. So we found this warehouse, and it had no AC, no parking. But to our surprise, people still showed up.
Yeah.
We would get people on what's it called, Thumbtack, and just the little apps, and still from Instagram. And they were just so amazed. I mean, I feel like it was barely bigger than the section. I mean, it was bigger. What, like 1,200 square feet?
Yeah, so it was
at
1,000 square feet.
Really tiny.
Yeah.
So
it's bigger than a garage because our garage was 300 square feet.
So in the snow, we were moving our stuff in and moving all the equipment in. People showed up. We were super excited, and I said, well, it's kind of too small now. So then we knocked a wall down. And then more people came, and we were just, very blessed that people wanted to work out, and they were just so excited to have somewhere to go. That wasn't like a gold once those opened up again. They still felt a little iffy, so we provided a place for the community. We were out there in the summer. Everybody was super lean because there was no AC. If you look at our pictures from then, we're all cut,
Yeah, everybody's dehydrated.
Yeah. Probably having heat strokes, But we just did our best. Very humble beginnings. Everyone that came really wanted to be there and really wanted to work out, and so we established a community. People brought their kids, their wives
awesome.
for the first time.
Our very first year. So once we moved into our actual warehouse, and we drove across Texas to pick up equipment, everything was found on Facebook Marketplace. Thank God for Facebook Marketplace.
There's a lot that goes down on Facebook Marketplace,
Yeah, for sure. So we drove across Texas. We drove in the snow. Like, we almost died that day because the trailer
it was
slid.
That was more snow than we've ever seen.
It was crazy.
What did we get that day?
The Smith machine. We got a cool Nautilus Smith machine that was custom fabricated for a 1-to-1 weight ratio.
Oh wow.
So it feels like an actual weight that's on a free weight bar. Like, it's really cool. But
that's cool.
We drove across Texas to go pick that thing up, and so anyway, our first year, we're slowly just adding these pieces in, and we got enough pieces to where, like she said, we knocked the wall down. And then that first year, I was like, well, let's do something cool, and it's around November, and she's like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, let's have Thanksgiving in the gym. And then
that's cool.
I was like, yeah, we're just gonna have Thanksgiving in the gym, and so we rented some tables. We had a friend cook, and we thought maybe 5-10 people were gonna show up, right? And next thing you know, 50, 60 people are showing up, and we're like, there's not enough food. Oh no.
Let me ask you this, because you guys, I know Tim and Michelle's gym, they had some issues during COVID. Everybody did. You guys were starting during COVID.
Yep.
With the freeze, that stuff's not cheap. You're still paying, even though you maybe buying it secondhand from somewhere. You're still paying for this stuff.
Right.
What kept you guys going? Because when you're talking to me about, your path through this, I think there's so many places where it would have been easy to go, let's just stop. Was it the clients that kept you guys going? Was it just your spirit or your drive to want to do it? Because they all had a lot of hiccups, it sounds like.
I would say definitely it was our community.
Okay.
Because I'm a full-time nurse. So with that, it was a lot of overtime hours, getting that equipment, a lot of work training clients.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we would get man, this is super hard, it'd be easier just in the garage because obviously it's free. In there, you just walk outside. We would think, well, how much do people love coming here? Look at our Thanksgiving that we had. People come in there.
60 people is a lot of people.
Yeah. I know. People would come in there and they would have a horrible day, you know, and they come in there in the heat. We were
Yeah.
so surprised. I was like, I cannot believe people are in our little gym. And when I say the parking was bad,
Yeah,
like there
like
was
we
2
had
parking
no
spaces
parking spots
and a
at all.
auto mechanic
across the street.
So there's broken cars everywhere,
Yeah.
and the gym was almost impossible to find.
Yeah.
And every time we'd see our little people walk up there, you know, with their bags,
Yeah.
I was like, I would have not even come here.
And you
by
know,
now,
like,
you know, and they're showing up.
Yeah.
So
And it's like just thinking about the impact that we made on people's lives so far. So like seeing the smiles on their faces and knowing like every single person that walked through the door, like their day-to-day life, like their routine, like involves your facility.
Yeah.
Like it involves coming there and seeing you and talking to you and working out and having a good time, you know, because like they don't have to be there at all. Like there's plenty of gyms around San Antonio and stuff, but they choose to come there and
they
as
choose,
far
like
as-
you said, they choose to come every day.
Yeah, they choose. I mean, I get people that like live all the way out in Hondo and Floresville and everything, and live all the way out in Castroville that like drive out to our gym every day to come work out.
Yeah.
Over there, and you know, and there has been times like where like, yeah, dude, we should just like, because it's definitely hard, because we like never claim to be like experienced business owners and stuff. Like it's been a lot of trial and error through like with owning a business and stuff. And you know, we thought about, you know, like, well, it'd just be easier through a garage maybe again if we just, you know, wanted to close it down or whatever. And but then we think about like the people's lives that like we impact, and like we, you know, I just when it times were getting tough, you know, I had to like sit there and think about that, and I was like, well, how would that person feel, and how would this person feel, and then how would this person feel, and I'm going through a list of every single individual that I know.
It turns into like a responsibility that you can't put down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's cool though. That's
Yeah.
good. And you know, it's funny because the fitness, the strength industry, it really is. You always hear people talk about community and families, and it's like it really is.
It
you know,
is,
when you have a team and that's your team and that's your gym and these are your people, and like you said, you see them every single day. You know, it's those folks that go every single day need that.
Yeah.
You know, I've talked to people before, and they've said how a lot of times this environment is their social time too.
Yeah.
You know, they don't go to the bar, they don't go dancing.
Yeah.
This is where they socialize, and that's that mental health aspect, right? Is being around other folks, you know, cutting up, cracking jokes,
Yeah.
you know, encouraging, making fun of, whatever it is. It runs the gambit, right? That's what makes up a family. So, man, I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell folks again. I got a little list up here that I keep forgetting to look at, but.
So again, our gym's Paradise City Gym, kind of a play on the word paradise, so people know what it means.
Yeah.
We are powerlifting, bodybuilding, general fitness. We like to do things in the community, host events. Our first powerlifting meet will be January of 2024.
Okay.
So we have a lot of equipment that's geared strongly and heavily towards bodybuilding, full range of machines, dumbbells, everything you need, as well as specialty equipment for powerlifting. We have a pit shark, we have a monolift, we have the 2 competition grade combo racks, we have a pendulum squat. We've got all kinds of things, and Logan really focused on getting equipment that was unique from bodybuilding days. So.
Yeah, like a true press. You know, those are highly sought after. You know, like they're selling for like 15 grand right now.
Really?
And I'm like one of like, there's like only 7 gyms in the country with a true press.
No kidding.
And they're like extremely rare, and like people like all over are like looking for these things.
That's awesome.
You know, and but yeah.
So y'all's event is in January.
Yep.
Yes.
And is it going to be the 3 lifts, or what are y'all
Yes, sir.
doing?
So,
Okay.
because we got a new facility this last January, after the warehouse, after we expanded, we got a store frontage location now.
Okay.
It has AC, it has
we have
And that's at the address.
everything.
Correct.
Yes.
So that's at our current
It's gonna
address
be at
now.
5720 Bandera Road, Suite 18.
Yep.
So that's kind of central to anywhere, right off of 410.
Sure.
You can exit there.
Mm-hmm.
It's 24/7, so members get a key fob and they can come and go as they want.
That's cool.
We do allow kids. Families are always welcome. If you have little babies, you can push the stroller around or stay with them. You have older kids are welcome to work out. As
We
long
got an
as they're
Xbox there for you to
supervised.
play if you want to
Cool.
play some Xbox while
We
sipping
do
on
have
free.
a partnership with Cost Plus Nutrition. So they keep our fridge stocked for us, energy drinks, protein shakes, waters, basically anything you need. And we do have partnerships with a lot of people in the community, rehabs, and then I am a nurse full-time doing Botox and fillers and medical weight loss.
Awesome.
So we also do that out of the gym, the medical weight loss part with peptides. So we try to make sure that we offer a wide range of services so people can stop by and get anything they need. So our goal is to be within the community somewhere where, okay, I can go to the gym. Well, also I need a barber. Hey, we have a barber that works out here.
No
You
kidding.
can go here.
That's
you
awesome.
need a
Yeah.
doctor. I know this doctor. She's great. I recommend. So we want to be somewhere where the community knows that they can get information, and that if you are someone that's an entrepreneur or you own a business, you're a plumber, you're a physical therapist, anything, that you can know that, hey, maybe I'll get people from Paradise to come over here. I'll go work out there. I can help build my business. My barber is literally my social media person.
That's
so
awesome.
We make all kinds of different connections.
Cool.
So
It's such a diverse community.
It
and
is.
when you guys, when you're a gym owner like that, there's so many. It runs the gamut for what people are interested in, for hobbies or for work. So, I mean, it's really cool to have access to that variety of diversity in people's talents. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what is y'all's website again?
Our website, you can just type in Paradise City Gym on Google, and our website will pop up. Our location will pop up. You can follow us on social media on Instagram at ParadiseCity_gym. And then we do have Facebook too. You can type us up on Facebook, find us on Facebook. And then, like I said, this January, for our 1-year anniversary for being moved into our new location, we're hosting that powerlifting meet. It's going to be called the Paradise City Annual Classic.
Cool.
And then
it's fully sanctioned.
Fully sanctioned by the
so
WRPF.
all the records will count.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
it'll be a fully
That is
sanctioned meet.
awesome. Do you have a date on that, or just it's
January 20th?
20th. Okay.
Yep, January 20th.
Sweet.
So and then
So for competitors that want to participate, when do they have to be registered by and all that good stuff?
so the registration should be going up in 3 weeks, I believe.
Okay.
So and then they need to be registered by January 10th. I think is the cutoff.
Okay.
For that one. So,
Awesome, man.
But yeah.
Well, shoot, I appreciate you guys stopping by.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time. And
We appreciate you having us on.
absolutely.
So-
Well, I'll look forward to swinging by there in January and checking
Yeah,
out y'all's
come
event.
check us out.
That'll
and
be
then,
cool.
Yeah, we're growing, so we're, having a good time.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Have a great one.
Jason Bailey with Vets for Youth. We can be reached at vetsforyouth.com. Phone number 512-686-6614. Social media, Instagram, vets_for youth. Facebook, Vets for Youth. Hey, hit us up.
How long you been doing this?
Oh, I've been youth empowerment for a while. We got established with our 501c3 at the beginning of this year.
Oh, cool.
Yes, sir. So we are a nonprofit.
Are y'all based out of San Antonio? You got a 512 number.
Yes, sir. We are in San Antonio. I live in San Antonio now. We have another location in another state in Mississippi too.
Okay, so what exactly do you guys provide with the youth? It's a youth empowerment group, but what exactly are you guys doing with them? As far as, is it mentorship? Is it helping with sports, or what kind of things do you guys get involved with?
For the youth, it's all around empowerment.
Okay.
So our motto is the children are the future.
Right.
So we're preparing them for a future that's much brighter. So we want them to be empowered to be able to achieve their ambitions and all they can do, right?
Yeah.
So we do that by life skill development. So like, for example, I'm a CPR instructor, so we provide
that's
CPR
awesome.
training once a month, every third Saturday. So they'll feel like, okay, look, I can help somebody. I'm
Yeah.
empowered to do this. If they see someone in need, they can be able to help. So empowering that way. We also empower them to take advantage of their own health, where we provide life skills. We provide the community garden. So we provide them a location where they can learn how to grow healthy food. We connected with a 32-year-old Army veteran, Heavenly Gardens here in San Antonio, where we take them out to grow food. Show them how
cool.
to grow food. That program, we connected with another Army veteran on that.
You know, that's interesting that you say that. You know, there's so many things that the youth learn. You know, learning to produce something that from scratch, learning to grow something that takes patience, right? That takes effort. So a lot of times you're out in the hot sun, you know.
Yeah.
So that's cool that you guys are teaching them that aspect of life. You know, I grew up in a small town, and what we did a lot of was processing game animals, right? So we'd hunt, we'd fish, we'd learn.
Yeah.
You know, our
I
my
love that.
parents taught me how to, you know, clean a deer and, you know, process it, debone it,
Yeah.
do all the, you know, from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
And you know, I always get a little bummed out because I look back and I say, man, that's a skill that not a lot of kids are learning anymore. You know, back 40, 50 years ago, it was commonplace.
Correct.
You know, now to be able to teach somebody that they can grow their own produce, even in the backyard, or even in a potted plant if they're growing tomatoes or something, you know, it kind of gives them a skill. And anytime that you can create something like that, it gives you it makes you proud of the efforts. Yes,
right?
it's empowering.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
Exactly. So
That's
yes,
cool.
sir. And it's good that you mentioned that, because, like I said, I'm from the country. I'm from Mississippi, right?
Okay.
So we grew up the same way, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have to go to the grocery store all the time. You had deer meat, venison in the freezer, right?
Yeah.
We also teach sustainability,
That's
right?
cool.
So sustainable living and learning how to live off the land is also included with our teaching, you know, being a good steward of what God has given us.
Yeah.
So hey, we do it for the grace of God, and we love to see the reactions on kids' face when they learn something new or feel empowered.
Yeah.
So yes, sir.
How many young folks do you guys have in?
We currently have 10 students, 8 to 10 students per CPR class. We got probably like maybe 40 to 60 now.
Yeah.
And we're still growing.
Awesome, man. And what else do you guys provide for these young folks? How many kids have gone through the program up to this point? Do you know?
Yeah, we have had so far probably about 60 so far.
That's awesome,
60
man.
kids. Like I said, we got our 501c3, and we still continue trying to see how we can connect with local community to get more.
What's the best part of this thing for you?
The children are the future, and knowing that, hey, I'm helping prepare children for the future.
Yeah.
So if anybody want to feel empowered and to help, they can always go to vetsforyouth.com, click on the link. And in San Antonio, we have a softball tournament coming up.
Oh, really?
November 19th.
When is it?
November 19th.
Okay.
So, hey, vetsforyouth.com, click on the softball tab, and register a team. Come out, support the youth, support what we're doing, win a trophy. We will have prizes and everything like that.
What is the age group for the teams? Is it grown-ups or kids, or
Yeah.
all the way through?
So this is going to be a double elimination tournament for co-ed.
Okay.
So 18 and up.
Okay.
Must be at least 5 women on the team. And of course, it's 12 players.
Yeah.
So, hey, bring out your game, and it'll be a good event.
Man, that's awesome.
You should come out.
I'll have to.
Yes, sir. It's in Ladybird Park.
Ladybird Park?
In
Okay.
Nacogdoches, yes, sir.
Awesome. Any other events you guys have coming up?
Oh, yes. Every third Saturday, we have our CPR classes.
Okay.
And on the Saturdays, we have our Heavenly Gardens volunteer service on Saturdays.
Cool.
And we will be at Chicken and Pickle November 7th at their Military Resource Fair. So come to our table and get some swag.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Anything else you want to share?
Oh, yeah. If you have any need, reach out to us. If you have time, reach out to us.
So volunteers?
Yes, because the children are the future.
And again, what are the age ranges? If somebody has a child that needs that they think could benefit out of this, what is that age range that you guys take?
For the Junior Master Gardener program, which we have a Junior Master Gardener program we're establishing, that is going to be middle school age kids up to high school.
Awesome.
And for the CPR training, we're asking kids 12 to 18.
Very cool.
Yes, sir.
Man, thank you for your time, brother.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
And Vets for Kids.
Vets for Youth.
Vets for Youth?
Yes, vetsforyouth.com.
The
children are the future.
Thank you, bud.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Hi.
So my name is Jessica Flores. Our organization, our vendor company is Mario's Life Part 2. So we're selling shirts. Mario is my fiance. Actually, we're getting married in 2 weeks.
So let me ask you this. What happened to Mario Part 1? Because I was following Mario Part 1, And then all of a sudden there was a Mario Part 2.
Oh man, we got hacked.
Oh, did
like,
you?
Like really, really bad. It was really bad, scam artist. So we had to close his Instagram, and this is Mario's Life Part 2. So
well, it's kind of cool because he's starting fresh, but it's like there was so much that he had posted.
Yep.
And it's like having to do it all over again.
And he's a tattoo artist, if
Yeah.
you guys don't know already. So we had to restart all over again. Yeah. So it's been a journey, definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Have you been able to get all your followers back?
Most of them.
Okay.
He has a lot, though.
Yeah.
So, but right now, what we're doing, so Mario is 53 years old. He's a power lifter. We're
terribly handsome.
Yes, he is terribly handsome. So we originally started this company, Born Texan Strength. And that was our first design. Mario's like, let's start this off, see where we go with it. Because we go to Worlds actually 4 weeks after the wedding in November.
Oh, wow.
So that was our first shirt. He's like, let's see where it goes into. I'm like, okay. And then people started asking, are you going to have more shirts? So now we're eventually going to evolve it into Mario's art design.
That's cool.
So
people know all these shirts are his designs.
Everything. Yeah. He's designed Renee Maldonado shirts and heavy metal shirts.
Yeah.
So, and then he's doing a couple projects with TSS. He did some out-of-town gyms. I'm not sure which ones he has, but he's done some more. But he has so many projects.
And he's a world record holder.
Yes, 53 years old.
Yeah. What was his weight? Because was it bench or deadlift, or was it all three?
It was bench and deadlift. So we're trying to get him for squat. I'm like, come on, babe, you got this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's definitely, he's put in so much work. So and
he stays so busy too, because he's always posting things that he's painting or drawing, and eventually sometimes those turn into shirts.
Yes.
Fix your shirt, because I want everybody to see how badass that shirt. There you go.
What a booty.
What a booty. Hey, there's some what a booties here today.
Yeah, there is. And you know what, Gabe? He also, if you guys didn't know, aside from doing tattoos, he's a graphic designer. It's what he majored in at Texas Tech. And then he does welding, engraving.
Oh, really?
Metal engraving.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a jack of all trades. And he says, I still want to do more.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's always keeping his mind busy, I guess.
Yeah.
So how many different T-shirt designs do you guys have out right now?
So far, we have 5.
Okay.
And more coming.
There's the What a Booty. There's
the Water Booty, Born Texan Strength. Then we have the Death Moth, Texan Thick. And then we have a red heart design up there. I'm telling you. He's like, every day he's like, there's something I want to design something else. It's crazy.
So being his fiance, how is there an opportunity for you to be artistic, or do you just leave it up to him?
Honestly, Gabe, he's the artistic one.
Really? So you're not drawing anything? I saw your arm. The arm looks amazing.
Yes, my tattoo. So we're trying to finish it.
So is this all his work?
All his work. Well, this right here is Drake. His son is a tattoo artist as well. He
Okay.
started when he was 6 years old.
Okay.
So this is his part, his art, but everything else is Mario.
That's awesome. He does a great job. I love
He's
those flowers.
amazing.
Whose dog is that?
This is my dog. He passed
Aw.
away. His name's Max.
Don't say that. We're gonna start crying in here.
Ah. Yes.
So where can people find you guys, social media wise or website wise?
So you can find us on Mario's Life Part 2. We're gonna eventually make another Instagram where it's Mario's Art Design. So we're working on that. It's in the works, but that's where you'll find all of our shirts and more products we're gonna sell.
And so there's a website link onto that. So
We don't have a website just yet.
Okay, so if
It's an Instagram.
if there's people listening, they want to buy a shirt, how do they do that?
Go to Mario's Art.
Because you're the girl.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
girl. Go to Mario's Life Part 2, and then his phone number is there. The number is 210-365-3274. You can reach me. I just handle all the bookings, any sales, anything that you're interested in. Even if you want designs for your gym or shirt designs, whatever.
Or a badass tattoo.
Or a badass tattoo. Yes. that as well.
You get right now, everybody listening, we're at Battle at Alamo City here in San Antonio. It's
Yes.
October 7th. Where are you guys going to be set up next?
Honestly, I don't know. I've been looking at some other markets, so I just try to get my foot out there so we can get that recognition or just that spotlight on him so we can sell more designs. So that's what I'm trying to keep busy, but not too busy because this wedding is stressing me out.
Oh, I know it. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what I told her.
What?
You're getting married on a Saturday.
Friday.
A Friday? Okay. Saturday, nobody's going to remember what didn't go right.
Are you sure?
Or what was left out. we fought. Oh, it was terrible.
No.
What's on the table?
That's what everybody tells me.
We didn't eat. We didn't get cake. We did drink a lot. We did dance. And it's like at the end of the day, we had so many plans.
Yeah.
We had so many things we wanted to do. And then we got married on Saturday. On Sunday, none of it mattered. And all people said was, man, we had a great time. We don't know what we...
See, that's all that matters. That's all
matters.
I really want that matters.
Yeah.
Our little flutes that we were supposed to give to everybody started leaving and we found the boxes.
Oh,
let us know if you want them. You can give them out at your wedding. Or it'll have our names and our wedding date on there. But just give... We got like 7 boxes full.
Oh, my God. Hey, y'all can.
So, all T-shirt designs. Do you have? What are your sizes?
So I have some.
Because I know a few really big people.
Okay, so the Born Texan Strength. That one I have my largest size. I think 4 or 5X.
Okay.
And then the other T-shirt design, the Death Moth, the Heart, Texan Thick, and the Water Booty. It goes from small to 2X.
Okay. Can I gift a What a Booty shirt to somebody if I buy one?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
She ain't getting it, but I'll give it to somebody.
Why not?
I gotta find a What a Booty.
Oh my God, he's so bad. You're just like Mario. You're just like Mario. He's the same way. I'm like, oh my God, you are so bad.
I knew I loved him for a reason.
I probably got you a shirt. You did buy a shirt.
We did.
Okay.
She got one too, but she's not getting the What a Booty. No.
Stop it.
I'll let you know.
You're so bad.
I'll message y'all. I'll message y'all later on when I find one. I'll probably just buy one here and walk around and find somebody here.
For sure. Gabe, you're so bad. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're going to make some more shirts. Actually, when you said if I was going to design anything, there is some shirts that I've been thinking about.
What are some new designs?
I think
share one. Since you don't want to share
I think I'm on top of my head. I told him to design one for eyelashes.
Oh, okay. That would be cool.
Some girly ones. I think we're going to do a Halloween one, but with like a Van Halen kind of feel to it, with the 4 members and kind of include cool. Like all the 4 murderers.
Yeah.
So we're going to see. It's in the works. There's some other designs that he's thought about.
I'm not artistic. So
I'm not either.
I think it's cool, but I come up with some stupid ideas. So it's nice when you have somebody who's extremely talented. You can go, "Hey, here's my idiot idea.
Bring it into life.
Can you make it happen?"
Gabe, he does that. It's so crazy. I'm like, if I could know what you think or how, he's something else.
Yeah,
He
he's very talented.
Yeah, he is, and his son's even better.
Really?
Drake. His name is Drake Sanchez.
What's his Instagram? Because I need to go find him.
Oh, let me look it up. Let me see.
How old is Drake?
Drake is 21. 21, 22, I think.
I've been trying to find Nina, a 21-year-old, so let me know, girl.
I don't know. Drake is taken. He's off the market. But his Instagram is Drake Tattoos 01.
Okay.
He is
awesome. I'll have to go check him out.
You're going to have to check him out.
I didn't. I think I'd seen some pictures of him with his son on his Instagram, but I hadn't found Drake. So
he's so awesome.
Awesome.
And such a good kid.
Cool.
The best kid ever.
Well, very good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Yes,
is there anything else you want to share?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
One more time. Instagram.
It is Mario's. Hold on, I gotta remember it.
It's on here 2 or 3 times.
I know, it's Mario's Life Part 2.
Mario's Life Part 2. Y'all go check it out.
Cool.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So first and foremost, thank you for having me here. I
Absolutely.
think this is fantastic. So my name is Julio. I am the owner of New Body Health and Wellness, and we are a fully online telehealth service, health and wellness clinic local to the San Antonio area. We provide a whole range of different services. We do everything from testosterone replacement therapy to peptide therapy, which is one of our huge therapies that we just starting to tap into it. That's shown incredible benefit for anybody with any type of injury. BPC 157 and Sermorelin are the two peptides that we're currently offering. We also do medical weight loss. We also do IV hydrations for anybody within the local area. Will go to your house, we'll go to your office, we'll go to the park. I've done it in people's cars before that just stick their hand out and we're giving an IV hydration for.
So do you guys get to? Do you put vitamins and other things into the IV drip?
Yeah. Absolutely. We have everything from a hangover recovery to migraine-specific treatments that really are incredibly beneficial for anybody that's suffering from any of those ranges of things, right? Those are the things that we offer. Medical weight loss and the testosterone replacement therapy, the peptide therapy, all of those treatments. I think it's really cool what we do as well. Since we're a fully online health and wellness clinic, we offer everything through telehealth services.
Okay.
And so it's as easy as, we'll set up an appointment, you'll have a conversation with our physician or our PA, we submit the script directly to the pharmacy, and then all the medication, the needles, the alcohol swabs, it comes in a kit and it's shipped directly to your front door. So you don't have to do anything, go anywhere, everything comes directly to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long does that shipment usually take?
I'm glad you asked. So we used to have semaglutide for a long time. Was, if we're talking about medical weight loss, it was taking up to 27 days for clients because there was such a big backlog. It's very beneficial, and there was a huge demand for it at the time. Fortunately, we were able to partner with a local pharmacy within San Antonio where if you'd want to, you can actually go pick them up same day.
Oh, wow.
Generally, our shipment, though, takes anywhere between 24 to 48 hours for that to show up to your house.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
What about the other aspects? I guess is that for testosterone too? All those.
Yeah, so the testosterone replacement therapy, it's a little bit more involved, and we do it that way specifically for a reason, right? Hormone replacement therapy shouldn't be taken lightly, and it's one of those things that we deep dive with every single patient. There are testosterone replacement clinics out there that will only take your free testosterone, and if you're low, hey, here's a bottle, good luck.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do as you do. We take a little bit more of a deep dive, as I mentioned, with every single one of our patients. So we want you to get about 6 to 7 labs initially to ensure where your prolactin is, where your human growth hormone levels are, where your free testosterone is, and then the other thing that we like to consider is whether you want to have kids or not. Right, that's a huge consideration when coming on to testosterone replacement therapy. It must be evaluated. Most clinics don't, and that's okay. But like I said, I think we're a little bit different in the sense that we want to take an approach that is directly, what you need specifically, patient by patient.
So is it a syringe injection type, or do you have because at one point I was taking it too, probably need to take it again.
I'm on it now.
Ask her.
Yeah.
But they had one because we were trying to get pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
And so it was, they came up with this weird little apparatus that you would pour the testosterone on, put it on your armpits.
I see. Okay.
Then I had to go to syringes because we were concerned with that touching her while she was trying to get pregnant. So it turned the whole thing. So do you guys do specifically injections, or do y'all have like a variety of ways to take that testosterone?
That's a great question. So we like to do injections because I think it limits the exposure to anybody else, right? You can take it as pellets. There are pellets that you can get implanted. There are also creams that you can do. But which work for some people, right? Everybody's is a little bit different. But we like to focus a little bit more on the subcutaneous injections. So it's a very small insulin needle, and it goes right under your skin, right? And the reason...
you just made me feel so much better, because it was like drilling oil, putting that needle in my arm.
Yeah, no, we don't. So there's some recent research that has come out that states that when you do intramuscular injections with the longer needles, the bigger needles, right, you get peaks and valleys, right? Okay. Like you get it absorbs into your muscle. It's very vascular, so it spreads quicker and all of those things, right? So you tend to get a feel better relatively quickly. The bioavailability, though, it gets as it gets absorbed, it gets used quicker too, right? Gotcha. So you end up doing some peaks and valleys when you administer, depending on how you administer it too. Some people say, administer it once a week, which we don't recommend, or twice a week. What we like to do is subcutaneous injections right under the skin, twice a week for better, more consistent absorption.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it negates the peaks and the valleys. It just puts you on a more level plateau.
So is it a different type of testosterone that you're using, or is it the same type? I guess my question is, it seemed like there was always this, hey, it's got to go into the muscle tissue of the body.
Yeah.
And I love this idea, because now, like I said, it doesn't have to be a foot long needle. And
it doesn't.
And it's the size of a water bottle.
That's right.
But is it the same type of testosterone? It's just being administered differently, and it works?
Yeah, generally it's the same, right? Okay. Testosterone cypionate is what we use. There's propionate as well, right? Which is a bit of a longer lasting testosterone. Okay. But testosterone cypionate generally has about a 3-day half-life, more or less, depending on your specific absorption time and your specific half-life, right? Everybody's a little bit different. We use testosterone cypionate, though.
Now, let's say Joe Blow's at the house, he's sitting on the sofa.
Yeah.
Watching 90 Day Fiancé.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I watch. That's what I watch. But what is he feeling? What are the symptoms that he's feeling that might be a red flag for him to say, hey, I need to call you guys up and run some blood work?
I'm glad you asked, because that's super important to know your body, right? As we age, normally anybody after the age of 30, the testosterone starts to decline significantly, right? And some of the things you're going to see, and these are only some of the symptoms of the wide variety that you can feel, right?
You're going to hit everything that I've got, but go ahead.
low energy, right? Weight gain. You're going to have low libido. You can even suffer from depression.
Wow.
As some of them, right? In fact, there's a few studies that have come out that this is near and dear to me. So I'm also a combat veteran, right? And I suffered from PTSD for a long time. And that is also directly correlated, to your levels of testosterone, right? And so once I got my levels checked, I found out that I was super, super low on testosterone. And so that was really affecting my mental health. Once I got that corrected, I got on testosterone replacement therapy. My levels are nice and standardized now. A lot of that significant depression that I had with the PTSD association stabilized.
Yeah,
it's been an incredible journey for me. It's been life-changing for me since I started the testosterone replacement therapy and the peptide therapy for the recovery after really long workouts, or even just, I used to have a really bad shoulder injury, and the BPC 157 completely eliminated that injury.
Oh, really?
For me.
No surgery?
No surgery. No, absolutely not. Yeah. It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So again, where can people find you on your website?
Thank you for asking. www.newbody-health.com. Okay. That's NUB. So newbody-health.com.
And so let's say somebody calls you guys up.
Yeah.
What is their process? They're going to get sent to a lab, maybe like a Quest or something like that.
Yeah.
Run some labs. They send that to you, and then you guys follow up with a phone call, and then you build a game plan from there?
Yeah, if we're talking about the testosterone replacement therapy specifically, it's a little bit of a different process for each individual therapy. So for the testosterone, though, yes, right? They'll call us up. We have a portal directly set up with Quest Diagnostics, actually, where we'll put in the labs for you. You get an email. You go and get those labs drawn. Our PA will go in there and see your lab results, and then we'll create that recommendation for that testosterone for you at that time.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty easy process. We set up an appointment with the PA after you did your labs, and then we send you the testosterone directly to your house.
And this is a service that insurances cover?
It doesn't. Okay. No, so it's completely cash based, or HSA, FSA. We also take those insurance bases, if that's what you want to call them. But it's generally a cash based service. Now, for the semaglutide and the peptide therapy, we don't require any labs unless we're going to be using some of the peptides that increase your human growth hormone for recovery. Then we want to see kind of where that's at least, just to target that a little bit better.
Okay.
But yeah, generally very, very easy process. You call us up, we set up an appointment with our PA. Our PA will sign the prescription, and that's all you need. That's all you need to worry about. After that, we submit that to the pharmacy, and then the medications come directly to your house within 24 to 48 hours.
That's awesome. And does your website show a cost associated with these services and the IV drips?
Yeah, everything is on our website. Our testosterone is on there. Our peptide is relatively new, so our web designer is not complete with our peptides just yet because it's such a new service for us that we just started. But you can absolutely give me a call directly, at 714-707-8670 is my direct number, and I will glad to take care of anybody that needs it.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Anything else you want to share?
No. Just, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. It's nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I'm Josh Swank. I'm with Swanky Designs LLC. We do engraving, customize, anything you think of. Signs, tumblers, hats, you name it. We've been in business for about 1.5 years now. Stood up our LLC this year for the first time.
Let's pull that a little more in front of you. No, you're good.
Good.
Okay. So you just set up the LLC?
Yes, sir. About 6 months ago was our goal this year, and we hit it. So we're doing great. We paid back all our lasers, all the overhead already. So we're in it.
What kind of engraving are you guys doing most right now?
We do mostly signs, tumblers, and hats.
Okay.
So yeah, we've to date done around, I'd say, many squadrons on base, you name it. We do Google Maps and such. So
cool.
Social media influencing, yeah.
That's awesome. What kind of material are you guys working on?
So we do leather, we do metal, wood, you name it. So
that's awesome.
Pretty much anything.
So is it the same laser that's engraving these different materials, or do y'all?
So we got 4 different lasers. We got a fiber, 2 diodes, and a CO2.
Okay.
Our blueprint for the CO2 is around 40 inches by 24. It's a tank of a machine.
Yeah.
Great machine. It's a headache to deal with, but it's been a lot of frustrating nights with like a head through a computer screen. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is this something that you've done in the past, or is this a new venture for you?
No, so I picked it. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've tried many venues of life to try and be my own boss. And I'm in the military. I've been in for 10 years now, so I'm trying to do something on my own. My wife and I do it. She has her lane. She does the social media, the Etsy, and everything. And then I'm the monkey turning the wrenches. So.
That's pretty awesome.
Yes, sir.
What did you start on first? Was it doing tumblers, or were you doing leather work?
Yeah, it was mostly just signs and plaques and stuff. Kind of the easy stuff. That's where most engravers start. And then we moved on to more difficult things like leather and hats and you name it. So.
Do you guys are y'all making the like the leather patches, or do you physically have the equipment to put those on a hat or whatever you need?
So not yet. Those machines are tens of thousands of dollars, and we do stitching. Yeah. My wife does hand stitching, and then we'll do like leather cement.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah,
man, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And what's your website?
So it's swankydesignsllc.com. That's SWENKEY designsllc.com. We have a website stand up. We do mostly Etsy, Instagram, and Facebook for that, though.
Okay, so not like a brick and mortar yet?
No, sir. We're trying to get there. No storefront yet.
That's awesome, man.
Those are goals.
What are some of the coolest designs that you think you've done?
I would say mostly...
What's your favorite things to do?
Probably military gear.
Okay.
I would say squadrons and stuff like that. We do a lot for special warfare. And retirement plaques, PCS plaques, stuff like that. It's cool to...
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool to take somebody's achievements and accoutrements and put them on, plexiglass or wood or something. So
that's pretty cool. Do you guys come up with... do y'all help clients with designs, or is it something where I need to provide you a logo and you can take it in process?
Exactly. Yeah, someone's design, like your design back here, and we'll process it, put it in the software, bring it on something, make it tangible.
That's cool. That's cool. Yes, sir. What and how long have you been doing this?
We stood up last May, so about a year and a half now. rather new.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition out there, so we're trying to find our own niche and stick to it.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing that even in this kind of industry is like there's so much out there, and so
it's everywhere.
It's hard. It's funny because at times you kind of look at the atmosphere and you see what's going on and who's doing what, and sometimes you can kind of gain inspiration from different things. But after a while, it turns into, I like doing this. It's fun. It's a passion. I'm going to do it regardless.
Yeah.
And at that point, it turns into, I think there's less stress in it, right?
There is.
There's less stress in it. And it's kind of like, okay, it almost frees you up to start thinking about cool stuff on your own,
Absolutely. Find something unique.
Yes. And I think that's when I kind of talk to people about, if they say they want to start a podcast or they want to do something else, it's kind of like, just, you're going to do it for a long time.
Yes.
Dig what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because
then it's a hobby, not so much a job.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
And I think when you're kind of freed up like that, it allows you to be a little more creative, especially when you're making cool things like achievement plaques. And
yes, sir.
I mean, that's pretty awesome, man. So, and what is your Etsy name?
It's just, again, Swanky Designs.
Okay, it's all the same name.
Yes,
across?
sir. SWENKEY Designs.
Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of that, it is great, especially when it's not 110 degrees in the garage, because my garage is wall to wall of tools, lasers, you name it.
And you've got to exhaust all this, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So there is a lot of exhaust going on. I cut out a duct tube and have it going out the side of the garage.
You did all this yourself?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
YouTube University.
That's where I do everything too. Yep. I tell everybody, if you can't Google it or YouTube, then you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly. In today's day and age, you can learn just about anything on YouTube. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's all at our fingertips.
Did you start off doing this, or was there another avenue you tried to get into?
No, it was actually just this, and I went balls to the walls and just all the way down the rabbit hole.
Committed to it.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool,
there's no
man.
turning back now. So
that's cool. What size orders do you think you can handle if somebody wanted to do, let's say, dozens of mugs, or is there any sort of limit to your capacity?
No, sir. I've done orders of 100 tumblers. I've done orders of 50 plus plaques, of 200 plus hats. So usually the turnaround takes, of course, a little bit longer, but we can bust it out pretty
That's
quick.
cool.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
I've
man.
gotten into that, into the grind of just expediting. So
yeah. And is it you, or you got a little team going now?
It's my wife and I now.
Okay.
We have a designer who works on the logos and such to rework logos like this.
Yeah.
To get them ready for the software for lasers, because lasers are pretty picky what they want to engrave and what they don't. So
how much of an effort, I guess, was it for you to learn the software? Because that's where I have the hiccup too, right? Even with this stuff, I use certain software and everybody tells me don't use that, it's too complicated. And it's like, well, I've already started, and then my OCD won't let me do something else. It's like, this is the first thing I've ever done. I have to do it like this forever. So did you kind of pick it up pretty quick? Are you savvy with software, or is it?
I am to an extent. It's nothing like Microsoft Word or Excel or what we're used to as normal people in this day and age. It's a completely different software. It's called Lightburn, and any engraver's familiar with it. 99% of them use it. It's very forgiving at sometimes and very unforgiving. And it's just been complete trial and error.
Yeah.
And I've had to put my head to it.
Frustrating at times.
Yes, sir. I've had to absolutely I'm going to figure this out. I'm not going to let it conquer me, and just push.
Yeah.
Especially with new designs. Because you get so many people that they bring you something, can you make this happen? And there's 100 different variables that come into play to make that happen. So it's just relaying with the customer what they want, constant back and forth.
That's cool.
And making it happen.
It's funny because I'm a little embarrassed to say at times, but a lot of times I like to quit things. But when I quit them, it usually lasts about an hour. And then I come back. There's been so many times where I'm trying to work the software. I'm trying to come up with an idea. And even as of yesterday, I was working on a side project. And it's like, you get excited, right? 'Cause you're starting to figure things out. And then you get to the point where it's kind of like, I'm 90% there. And then you hit this roadblock. And it's so and a lot of times it likes to happen at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. And your brain's just tired. And after that, I'm like, I'll walk off and I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, set it down and come back tomorrow.
Go take a nap, go to sleep, wake up, and then all of a sudden you're refreshed.
Amen.
And so it's cool that you're doing this and you're starting this from scratch and you're doing it on your own, because all those little minor achievements, they're huge when you're the one producing it from nothing. So I love it, man.
Especially when there's no boss behind you telling you to do it.
Yeah.
And you're just doing it yourself. It's so rewarding.
Yeah.
It really is. It's frustrating, it has been this venture, but it is so rewarding.
That's cool, man.
And seeing people wear our gear or have our things that we've made from scratch, it's an incredible feeling. It is.
Well, I'm excited for you. Tell everybody one more time your name, and the name of your company.
I'm Josh Swank. My name of my company is Swanky Designs LLC. That's again SWENKEY, not SWANKY. So a lot of people get that mixed up.
Awesome, man. You got anything else you want to share?
I'm good, boss. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, man. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you swinging by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Ryan Harness. I own and operate a podcast called Cognifit, and we work on getting people on the podcast that can better everyone else's lives. We have behavioral coaches as well as athletic trainer, and we believe that not only is the physical spot you have to build up, but you also have to build up the mental. And we like to work on different exercises that you can do. So things that will challenge your mind to actually put you outside that comfort zone. It's kind of like personal training for the brain.
Okay, so these are, I'm sure there's some physical aspects to this, but these are some mental trainings?
Yes. So one of them is called, I'm probably going to get this wrong. Krista will correct me, but it's called the Stroop test.
Okay.
And it's has arrow changings that will be going different directions, and you have a metronome and you're going on every other beat. And the cool thing is with this is that you can have it on a beat and just say which direction is it going, or which color is the arrow going. Or you can keep going up and gauge the levels. So there is no way that you're going to get to a point where you've mastered the test. There's always a way to make it a little bit more difficult, to the point where it's like every other beat, you're going to switch the arrow counterclockwise and then change the color and alternate red and green colors, blue and red colors. And the goal is to get you to stress out so that when you drop down a level, it becomes easier.
Gotcha. What's your background in this? Where did you kind of get turned on to this?
So I have a TBI.
Okay.
And when I got out of the military, I suffered from a lot of different things, and I used different self-medication techniques, and finally went into trying to work on myself and invest money more in myself into other aspects. And I found this place called Learning RX, and when I asked them how much it was going to be, they told me it was going to be $4,000.
Wow.
And I had never spent that much money on myself before, and I was just like, okay, well, worst case scenario is I'm back where I started, $4,000 less, and through 3 trainings a week for the next 6 months, I was getting headaches every single day I was training, and I was going through some depressing times. But after that 6 months, I was able to realize and look back that there's a lot of improvement that I was getting through that. And they're able to score you on what issues you have. And pretty much when she gave me the test, you could see like your short-term and long-term memory and short-term processing are out the window. Like they're extremely low versus everything else. And she's like, this is the evidence that shows TBI. So I never had an actual diagnosis other than a few.
So that was your
brain
first time learning that?
It was my first time learning it from someone that could actually help me.
Gotcha.
Because every single other person that showed me, hey, you have a TBI, they'd just be like, here's your brain scan of TBI. Good luck.
I got you.
And I couldn't do anything about it. This is the first place that they said, we're not sure if it will work, but it could.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
It did work really well.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so on your podcast, you guys kind of go through some of this stuff as well. Where can people find your podcast?
So we're on Spotify, Apple Music. We're on a plenty of different. We use Buzzsprout to go.
That's what I use. So it hits like the major platforms, basically.
Yeah. So we're on the major platforms, and it's cog hyphen fit.
Okay.
So COGNI or COGNI hyphen FIT.
Okay.
And myself, I'm the owner and the person that mostly operates it. We have Krista as well, and we just try and get as many different people that can expand our knowledge. And a lot of the times, we try and get people that I'm uncomfortable with. Like we had someone that's going to come on that is actually like a sex therapist.
Okay.
But she goes into things that are in a type of idea that is way outside my thought process. And my first thought was, I don't like it. Yeah. And that's why I had to have her on, because if I don't like it, it's probably because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I'd rather make my opinion after I hear from someone else.
Yeah, and that's the I think that's the important part. I'm very opinionated. I used to always say I'm very opinionated and I got a big mouth. And it's funny because in doing this, I've learned to listen more. And through listening more, and maybe through age too, I've kind of learned that, hey, different strokes for different folks. It doesn't have to be for me. But it's been a growing thing, you know. And I guess being uncomfortable, like you were saying, that's usually where the growth happens. So that's cool, man. And when are you going to have that podcast with a sex therapist?
So that one we're still working on. We'll probably have it within the next week or two.
Oh, cool.
But it's been a challenge to get them on because our schedules are, plus doing sports massage therapy as well. But definitely having them on. And then also, I don't know if you've ever heard of the person Faith, she wrote the book on F Yourself.
I think I've heard of the book.
Yeah, I don't want to say it on your podcast because it's I don't know how your language is, but
you know what? For Renee, for Renee, I'm trying to keep my swear words down.
Okay, yeah. So it's on F Yourself, right? Yeah. And Faith, she's actually a therapist here in San Antonio.
Okay.
And so after I read the book, it was really eye-opening. And so I reached out to her and I tried to get her on. And so we're working on getting that as well.
That's so cool, man.
So
that'll be a good guest.
I'm really excited. Just everyone that we can learn from is just a gem in my book.
Yeah. Well, before we move on to the other portion of what you do, how do you prepare for a podcast? I'm learning. I do nothing to prepare.
So
it's pretty bad.
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
But I have learned that what I try and do is I immerse myself in, especially if it's the like for Faith, her books. She has multiple books. And so the way that I'm preparing for her podcast is I'm reading all of her books and jotting down questions that I have for her to explore. Because that's one of the things that I developed the podcast for, is because when you listen to a podcast and you have an expert talk to you on stuff, I always have other questions that the other the host doesn't ask. And I'm like, I wish they would answer this. And so my idea with it is I'll write down a question so that we can explore on that, because if I have that question, more than likely people other ones.
Yeah.
So that's how I prepare. Otherwise, if it's someone that I don't really know that much about, I'm just like, hey, do you want to come on? And they're like, yeah, okay. What's it going to be about? Let's just have a conversation and see where it goes.
That's usually where I'm at.
I like those too.
I do too. It's a lot more fun in the sense that everybody's got a personality, but I call them personality podcasts, where we're just hanging out. You know, a lot of times I might bring like a meat tray, which is kind of, counterproductive to a podcast because you've got to talk. And we might have some drinks or whatever and just kind of socialize, and dig into topics that come up, I guess organically. But then when you've got somebody that's got a specialization, a place that they specialize in, it's a little bit easier to kind of do some research, but at the same time, I kind of fly by the seat of my pants, which some of the podcasts really show.
I think, honestly, that's how a good, that's how you build it, though, because if you script it, like if you, like Lex Friedman or Joe Rogan or any podcast like that, they probably will have scripted points, but the scripted points is so that you can tailor, you'll learn how to tailor the questions to that so that you get the response. Like if you have a question on inflammation and then you also have a question on cold plunge, you could also, tailor that question so it leads into a cold plunge. So you go from, hey, what do you think about the cold plunge and what do you think the benefits are? oh, something, it decreases inflammation. Okay, what do you think about inflammation? So if those are your two talking points, those would be easier hit versus like, what do you think about inflammation? Okay, what about cold plunge? You know,
Yeah, it flows a little better.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And having a strict script also takes away the fun.
Yeah.
Because I've had a podcast where it's like 3 hours long, and it's like we'll look at the watch and be like, oh crap, we've been talking for 3 hours.
It's amazing how fast it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I enjoy those though,
Yeah, I do
because I also like going back and listening to the podcast, because if I listen to you for 3 hours, I guarantee I'd count about 10 minutes of that 3 hours.
Yeah.
And when I go to edit the podcast, I'm like, oh, that's really cool information. I didn't pick that up.
That's pretty neat. So you're learning everything from scratch.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I have an editor that does my stuff, because I don't know how to do that. It frustrates me. So pretty much what I do is I record the podcast and then I listen to them. So that's all I want to do anyway. And then I clip them and send them to my editor.
That's cool.
And then he posts them.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So tell me about the therapy.
So my company, Mobilized Beast Therapy, I actually started that company a few weeks ago when I got my massage license. But I've been working with athletes and veterans for the better part of about 4 years. And what we do is we just work with people. I'm a sports massage therapist, so that's the main focus, is doing cupping, Graston work, deep tissue massage, as well as like stretching. But we also look at people's diets, nutrition. We also look at their supplementation, their rehab, recovery, and just any type of. I've even have an athlete ask me questions on how to build mental endurance.
Oh, wow.
Because he was dealing with school at the time. And so that's where that came out, where we just wanted to build up a team of people that we can have access to whenever an athlete or someone that wants to better themselves they have access to as well. And it's people that we've vetted as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So is it a brick and mortar type place, or is it all online?
It's a brick and mortar, yeah.
Okay, cool. Where are you located?
So we travel a lot.
Oh, gotcha.
We do a lot of events. I'm operating right now out of a place called Smudge Hawk Healing.
Okay.
She's one of the massage therapists that's part of the team as well. And she's really awesome. She's knowledgeable. She does sports as well. And then I also can't tell Gold's. I'm not going to say which Gold's Gym I operate out of, but I go and do work out of a Gold's Gym if they have a Gold's Gym membership. Sometimes I'll do events and travel to their home if need be. But mainly,
so you're pretty portable then. If somebody needed you in a pinch, I mean, not that they can call you in the middle of the night, but you're available to come to somebody.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's crazy is when we had that winter storm a few years back, right? I'm from Nevada, and I'm from the mountains, so I've driven snow no problem. And I had a friend of mine that got into a car accident, and he's like, hey, can you come work on me right now? And it was like 6 o'clock at night. I'm like, yep, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I like about myself and my business, is that if someone has an issue, I've been paralyzed before.
Oh, wow.
And I know what it's like to not be able to walk, or to give anything to be able to walk without pain, to your bathroom.
Yeah.
So when someone tells me that they're having an issue, my first thought is like, I can have empathy for this person, so I'm willing to push mountains to get to this person to make them better.
That's awesome. That's above and beyond what most people would do for folks. So
yeah,
that's I can appreciate that.
And that's where we also put in the nutrition, because on my Instagram for rehab, we have a lot of stretches, and I post a lot of stretching. And I will, if someone reaches out to me, I'll more likely send them stretches to do before actually seeing me, because I would rather them fix it on their own and leave the hard stuff to me.
Gotcha.
And so I don't think there's a lot of people that will actually go the extra mile to make it so that you don't have to see them as much and not spend as much money with them.
Yeah. And that, it's funny because that is the ideal goal, but it's also borderline counterproductive as a business owner, but I think there's a lot of people like that are small business owners who are more concerned with helping people. Like everybody needs to be able to provide for themselves and make a living. But I think a lot of small business owners, a lot of people that I've talked to today, they're passionate about what they do because they're passionate about what they do. You know, the business portion is almost second. You know, and I love it. That's awesome.
I think too, that's like it. If you talk to a lot of people that own businesses that, you know, like Shark Tanks, they'll tell you that business model doesn't always work.
Yeah.
And I think that with that small business, especially the small businesses that are here today, a lot of them, I spoke with a lot of them focus solely on the customer, and the money takes a back burner.
Yeah.
And I think that always in the long term will have the best benefit, because my old coach used to tell me that if you focus on customers, the money eventually has to follow if you do it long enough.
Yeah.
As long as you don't quit. But if you focus on the money, customers will never show up, or they'll show up, but they won't stick around.
Yeah, that's true. That's awesome. So anything else you want to share?
My Instagram is called Mobilize Beast.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, just reach out to me. Send me a message. I'll send you some stretches. Or if you want us to detail some type of mobility program, just reach out to us, and we'll be happy to set you up.
Is Instagram the best way to get a hold of you?
Instagram, it definitely is. That's the best way to contact me. If you want to schedule something, I would go to Smudge Hawk Healing, and that's the best way to schedule a massage with us as well.
Okay, and tell everybody about your podcast again.
So my podcast is called Cognifit. It's a I forgot now what it is, but it's a developmental podcast that we try and get as many people as we can to uplift everybody and uplift the knowledge so you can build the best version of yourself. And that one's on every major platform, and it's COGNI-FIT, and it's got a bearded person that looks similar to me holding up a world like Atlas.
Gotcha. Hey, and do you have a separate Instagram for that, or is it all tied together?
It's actually, we're working on that, but it's mainly the Twitter is like, I just got the Twitter, and it's actually Cognifit Twitter.
Okay, sweet.
So I was just leaving it that. And then the Mobilized Beast is going to tie into the Cognifit at some point, but we're just building it up from the ground zero.
Outstanding, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you swinging by.
I appreciate you doing this,
Absolutely, man. I'm super happy to have you, and I'll have to check out that podcast.
Yeah, dude. Awesome.
Thank you,
and I will
brother.
check out yours.
Thank you.
All right, you want me to hold it? I can hold it.
Yeah, you hold it.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, what's up? So I'm Dr. Danielle, otherwise known as Dr. D.
I'm Dr. Kelsey Eade. Just call me Kelsey.
Yeah, perfect. We're with Reaction Rehab and Sports Performance, and a good way to reach us is super easy, Reaction_Sport Rehab, on all platforms. Well, maybe not all, but majority of them: Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And our company is niche specific to athletes, weekend warriors kind of thing, and chime in whenever you want. And so it's really catered to like the recovery, and we really like to speak to longevity. And one thing that we believe in is it's not just being great in your sport. It's about being great and being able to last. So we offer an array of treatment methods, from performance training specific to the athlete, whatever sport they're in. I'm more catered to the performing arts, which is competitive cheer, ballet, and gymnastics.
And then I cover a lot of like fitness, functional fitness athletes, so CrossFit, but also powerlifting, weightlifting, really, like she said, weekend warriors. And then I also work a lot with like overhead athletes, so be it softball, baseball. So those are kind of more of our niches.
For sure.
But in general, like she said, we're really about longevity for anybody. To us, everyone's an athlete. We treat everyone that way. We treat everyone head to toe. It's not just about one single body part. We look at the system always.
For sure. And in that light, it's one-on-one from start to finish, which is awesome. And then you'll see when you guys go check out our social media page or Facebook, whatever the case may be, that we definitely want to look at it from a holistic approach, right, from head to toe, just like she said. And overall, don't wait is kind of what we always like to tell everyone in order for us to build better athletes.
You know,
is
you're
our
in
motto.
San Antonio, right? So it's a lot of Mexicans, and if we ignore it, it
It
goes away.
100%. I'm my own worst patient, she'll tell you.
Yes.
But that's kind of what we're trying to break that mold and bridge the gap between rehab and sports performance. Don't wait when you're injured. If you feel a small ache or pain, you're like, I could work through that. Don't. let's keep you doing what you want to do longer. And we also work with tactical athletes, also first responders. We were talking about border patrol, military, police, fire. Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
fire.
A lot of fire. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We definitely want to incorporate as many people as we possibly can, but we definitely pride ourselves in being able to provide sports performance programming for a high level athlete that is trying to get to either the next level, which may be collegiate, overseas, professional. You know, we have a few Olympians that are a few Olympic hopefuls coming up in the boxing world. So a lot of fun stuff that we're doing over at Reaction.
That's awesome. And where are y'all located physically?
We're over in I-10 in Huebner and closer to the medical center.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can find us kind of in a neutral spot, hopefully, for the majority of people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long you been in business?
Ooh, man, 2 years.
Okay,
as
good.
of August 20th.
Yes.
Super cool. And Kelsey came on almost a year ago now, which has been awesome. And then shout out to our social media manager, Nat's been with Reaction.
What's happening, Nat?
Gonna be for like a year and some change. Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
We have a pretty cool team.
Did you guys get started during COVID or was it shortly after?
That would have been shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
We both worked at an outpatient physical therapy clinic during COVID, and then it was probably about a year after.
Yeah, I would probably about a year into
about a year after.
I mean, because how long
the
is
real
truly
shutdown of COVID?
Who knows?
Yeah,
you know?
COVID is still kind of.
We're gonna talk
lingering.
2020, so it was probably like 2021 would be the
exactly.
Well, you know, that takes some guts because shortly after, like, COVID, the world was over, right? And nobody knew what was going to happen or how things were going to play out. So there's been so many people that have either started during COVID that I've talked to or right after. And it's like that takes guts because you don't know what the atmosphere is going to be in the next year. You know, they may shut it all down again. And here you are trying to start a business, taking out loans, trying to reach out to customers, and with the possibility of it all getting shut down again, which is really brave of you guys. Shoot.
I will admit it was a very big leap of faith. It wasn't short of having an amazing support system from family, friends that kind of, gave me that nudge I needed to move forward. And things just lined up and it happened and I was grateful for it. And there was some scary moments, as there will be, but honestly, I wouldn't do it any other way, I guess.
Do y'all get a lot of repeat clients? Or like, I guess, were you guys getting folks come in from your previous jobs saying, hey, I really like working with you. Where are you going? I'll follow you. Was it kind of one of those deals?
Both, honestly.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of both. The other thing that we've really had a lot recently, too, is, like COVID. People were like, I stopped because everything shut down during COVID. And then, like, maybe 2021, 2022, they went back. So they had years off, and they thought they wanted to pick up right where they left off. And so they're like, and then I came back, and all these things started to happen. And so that's another thing that we're starting to see a lot more of, too.
For sure. And in that realm, on the other side of things, I've been blessed with working with some of the athletes that we worked that I worked with at another clinic I was at, and they were, I'm going to say, at the young age of 12, and I'm seeing them like 3 years later, or 2 years later, and we made an impact, a positive impact, and they came back, and it's just been really cool to see that they trusted us with their care to that level, and now they're a Reaction athlete, which is a true blessing. Super humbled to be a part of their journey, and a lot of them are seeing their way to the collegiate level. I mean, it's speaking to my age. I'm very young.
You look
years young.
extremely young, both of you.
36. She's younger than I am. But yeah. Girl. So anyways, it's on both ends of the spectrum. We've had repeat offenders, if you will. And kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, we believe in longevity. And so we have a maintenance program where we see athletes once a month just for fine tuning. You think about, you go to the doctor annually, you go to the dentist, twice a year, just to make sure everything's working well or functioning well. I was going to say biting well.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so we develop, your body thrives on movement, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really want to move that much. So we developed this maintenance program around that. You need to move. Let us keep you moving, and we'll do it the right way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I asked somebody else earlier this question, but is this something where you guys are doctors? Is it something where they have to be referred to you guys, or is it a walk-in type thing? Do insurance cover some of the things that you guys do, or is it kind of a pay-as-you-go kind of deal? What is that?
Good question.
We are primarily cash-based,
Okay.
rehab and sports performance, so we cover both realms. Danielle's also a certified personal trainer. I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist as well, and so we do both. You can walk into us because in the state of Texas, when it comes to actual physical therapy, if you're seeing us for therapy, we do have a period of time where we can see you before we need that referral.
Oh, okay.
And then we also operate with another physician that does help if we do need that referral and we need to see a little
Okay.
bit longer. But we're primarily cash based, so not insurance. But we also do take, we know people have things like FSA, HSA, so they can still utilize those dollars if they are needing to. Anything else?
Yeah, no, that was well said. The idea, kind of speaking to your point of not being in the insurance space, because we're both coming from that, is myself and our athlete, we get to develop a plan that is specialized, customized, tailored, you name it, to them.
Gotcha.
So it's not a cookie cutter program. Everyone's
Right.
going to have a customized program. And with insurance, there's a time and place for it. I agree with that. But when it comes to rehab and again, that longevity piece that a lot of insurance-based clinics are missing, that's where we really, really thrive, because once you're moving well, right, like you can walk, insurance is like, that's all you get. On our side of things, it is an investment, and with that investment, you're investing in yourself.
Right.
And so it's something that it can be a little bit of a what do you call it, a sticker shock kind of thing. But we're going to give you the best care, period. We do believe in the value that we can offer when we have the capability of practicing in a rehab standpoint or a physical therapy standpoint, and then be able to see you through in a performance. There's nothing like that out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So does your website also kind of like, I get that you're going to tailor exercises or programs for folks, but does your website kind of host a pay rate or a scale of what things cost? That way people can kind of get an idea of
For
what
sure.
it is.
So we like having that conversation one-on-one, but I mean, we're very transparent with that. We don't want to like, hey, there's hidden fees. No, it's very black and white. So an eval, we recommend, or we need to start with a performance-based eval. That's roughly about an hour and 15 minutes, and you're going to get one-on-one care from start to finish, treatment if necessary, etc. And that's a $275 flat fee. And then once it's going to be completely based on your findings, will we determine what program is most appropriate for you.
Gotcha.
And that price point can vary between $175 to $195, just depending on what we think is going to be best. It may just be that we need to see you for that performance eval. We give you a program, and then you go on your way. Maybe we check back in a month.
Oh, I got you. So you can program for folks.
Oh, yeah.
And then they go
to anything and everything, really.
Gotcha.
We work with whatever you've got going on. We will cater whatever, and we'll talk about our options and say what's going to work best for you.
For sure.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything else you want to share? Let's have your website again.
Oh, yeah. So it's www.reactionsportsrehab.com, right? I'm just kidding. I get confused on the S. Sometimes one of our handles doesn't have an S, but reactionsports.com.
Oh, doesn't that irritate you?
Yes.
When
Oh, man, it was real frustrating. But if you put Reaction Sports Rehab, you should be all right.
Or just Google it.
Thank you so much, girl. Appreciate it. That.
You can also Google Reaction Rehab in Sports, and we're the first thing that comes up on Google.
Okay, it was Sport Rehab. Check that. Sport. Take out the S.
After 15 years, she finally paid off. So
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Nina.
Yeah.
So social media, same thing, or I guess they can go to your website. You have links to that?
Everything is there. It's a one-stop shop. You can find us on that reactionsportrehab.com. You'll find our Facebook link, Instagram link. There's a bunch of ways you can get a hold of us.
Awesome. Ladies, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having us. Really appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
All right, my name is Zach Borrego. My fighting nickname is The Dragon. I am affiliated with DKA. It's a martial arts gym out of the south side of San Antonio. We've been there for 26 years, kind of going through a rebrand. So the official name is the Dojo Karate Academy.
Okay.
A lot of people think that we just do karate, and obviously as an MMA athlete, we don't, So we are officially starting the rebrand process of that. Hopefully you'll be seeing some new signage and stuff. We're going to be going just as a DKA gym. My social media, you can find me. I'm probably most active on Facebook and Instagram. I guess I'm an older head now, So
I thought Instagram was new.
Yeah, it's still. Sometimes I tell people, "Oh, you can get me on Instagram." They're like, "You don't have a TikTok?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
But my social media is my full name for my Facebook, Zachary Borrego, and then my Instagram is ZB_58. You can also find our gym's Instagram, the Dojo Karate Academy, and from there you'll be able to see kind of all the things that we do, not just karate, but you can definitely visit the page from there as well. And so far, this event has been super cool. I know we were talking before we got rolling, but it's just kind of crazy to see two worlds kind of colliding together. A lot of different people, a lot of different walks of life that are all kind of in the same mutual interest. So it's been really cool. Everyone is kind of friendly, and we probably have something in common and easy to talk about different things. But it's been a cool event.
A lot of people like to say you build a bond through suffering,
Right.
through competition.
Right.
How long have you been competing in MMA?
So for MMA, I turned pro just a year and a half ago.
Awesome,
so
man.
I'm still fairly new in my pro career. I did fight a year of amateur fights, and that was 2021 was my first fight as an amateur. Before that, though, I've been competing in martial arts my whole life, whether it was karate competitions, jiu-jitsu competitions. I did do kickboxing for a while when I first got back from college. I was a collegiate athlete. I played football at Angelo State.
Okay.
So when I got back, I was kind of itching for something to compete again, started doing kickboxing. From there, it kind of led me into MMA. So
It's cool. It's funny that you say that, because when I've talked to Renee, the guy that puts this event on, it's interesting because it always comes back to, he's heavy military, right? So a lot of his experiences are military driven, but it's interesting because he specifically wants this to be an avenue for people who no longer have an avenue to compete, to be able to find a place to go compete, find gyms to train in, have something to look forward to, have something to stay active in. So that's
awesome,
kind of
man.
where this all kind of generated from. So that's awesome.
it makes sense. I know as an athlete, coming out of football, when I was in high school, I went to Harlandale High School, which is a Southside high school. I thought, I'm this big guy for Harlandale, and so I thought I was going to do some things. Of course, the NFL was a goal, but I quickly realized, going to a D2 school, like, whoa, there's some talent out here, And so I was kind of heartbroken. I tore my knee up. I knew from the very beginning, like, I'm probably not going to make it, to where I wanted to get to. So when I left college, luckily I got a job right out of, school, and that was kind of like my next thing, but I didn't have that competitive, like, I needed to compete, and obviously my family owns a martial arts school, so I've been doing it my entire life, and that took the route. But I definitely think that's exactly what people need. They need that extra, whether it be a strongman competition, CrossFit, a martial arts gym, something to give them that competitive edge that we probably all at one time were doing. So
and you crave it. You crave it when you're a competitor your whole life. A lot of us get involved in sports. You get older and you start losing those avenues to explore as far as being competitive, and so it's nice when you can find something. We can find a niche and stick with it. It keeps you active. It keeps you involved. Everybody likes to talk about the mental health aspect of life, and it's like that's so important. There's a lot of thought process that goes into what you guys do in training and how you treat your body, and so that's really awesome.
I think that's what martial arts is starting to become so big, because whatever martial arts you train, you soon find, like, it's just what we tell our people is just take it a day by day. If you can't do something today, try it again tomorrow or the next time that you're at the gym.
Yeah.
And then that little, like, sense of, like, okay, I can only do 15 push-ups. I'm going to try to do 20 by Wednesday. That little sense of urgency that you kind of get from it is addicting, and it takes your mind somewhere else, and now you're focused on whatever you're trying to accomplish for that hour, and that's why I really think that I'm happy martial arts is starting to kind of take over in the sense of, like, being that avenue for other people. I recommend it. You don't ever have to step in a cage or a ring. That's what we tell people all the time. That's a small percentage of what martial arts is about. So,
sure.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So you're pro now. When's your next competition?
Yeah, so I actually got a fight coming up 5 weeks from now.
Oh, really?
November 5th is my next fight. Yeah.
Where are you fighting at?
Cowboys Dance Hall.
Oh, okay.
It's with Fury Fighting Championships, which is a pretty premier organization. I've done all my pro fights with them. I was able to go to the Contender Series about a year ago.
That's cool. How was that? How was that experience?
It was an experience. I will say that. Yeah.
Was it similar to the old program they had where you stay together in a location?
Somewhat. They still do that, but this is kind of like the newer entertainment, where that was only like for a select, couple of months, and they do still do that. But the thing about the Contender Series is it's so performance based. You know what I mean? It's one day you fight in front of Dana White, And whether you win or lose depends on, you earning a contract.
Yeah.
So when it came to me at first, I was 3-0. I had literally just fought. So I fought in New Orleans that night. Like I'm talking about, I get out of the cage. My manager calls me. He's like, look, we got this great opportunity. It's against a guy named Bo Nickel. And I'm like, I've heard of that name, right? And
Yeah, I have too.
again,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to dive too deep into it, but when I was driving back, I started, okay, this guy is, a very accomplished wrestler. And because of that, we tried to move the camp. We were going to be fighting from that point. I think it was like 5 weeks, from that Sunday that I had just fought on. And so we were trying to push the fight a little bit further so I can have a full camp. Plus the fight that I had just gotten out of, I was, it was a fight. It was a 3-round fight. I was
Yeah.
all bruised up.
You needed to heal some still.
Overall, though, I will say, though, that it was a great experience. I was able to meet, a lot of cool people. And I think what it taught me was that my dream to get to the UFC is really obtainable.
Yeah.
Fury Fighting is a great organization that's willing to promote you if you're winning and you're doing it in a good fashion.
Entertaining, yeah.
Exactly. And it made me, like I said, it obviously we didn't get the result that we wanted, but at the same time, it's challenged me so much as a fighter. Like, not to get too far into it, but a lot of people, especially in MMA, it's really prevalent in boxing, but they try to build up their records, right?
Mhm.
So you'll try to get to like a 10-0, 9-0,
Yeah.
and then you look at the people they fought, and you're like, half of these guys had losing records. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like how are you able to really test yourself and be confident in what your record stands for if you're fighting, these nobodies? And
Yeah, they're padding that record, yeah.
It's really changed my mindset a lot as far as like what I need to be doing to be ready for that to come. Like I said,
And it makes you reevaluate too, I would imagine, your wins and losses.
100%.
Nobody
yeah.
wants to have those losses, right? But at the same time, when you kind of look around and you see what people are doing,
Mhm.
and you go, okay, this guy's 30-2,
Right.
and I'm 10-4, but I've been fighting dogs, right?
Exactly.
This guy's been padding his record. It's funny because you kind of look at here towards the end, you started to see the Diaz brothers, right?
Mhm.
And it's like their record wasn't what it used to be,
Right.
but people wanted to see them fight, man.
Yeah.
They didn't care about the record anymore.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that guys, the goal is always to become a champion, right? And in anything you do, but when you get to a certain point where your competitive nature, your style, your personality, all of a sudden that's bigger than a title, and it's like you're fighting main events, you're making main event money, and you're nowhere near a title run, and
Right.
that's always kind of cool to watch. Those are those guys that connect with the audience, and it makes people want to watch it. That's awesome.
And I think that's another thing too, and that's why MMA has become what it is because it's so. I guess you can describe it as like you feel connected to the fighter. Obviously people do have connections with them, but because of the harsh reality of what the sport is, you're kind of like, ooh,
Yeah.
you're more into the fight, and if you can finish fights and do it in a dominating fashion, it really makes like the fan base kind of stick with you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Whereas boxing, you do have a lot. I love boxing,
Sure.
So let me clear that
Yeah.
up first. But you do have a lot of people who point fight,
Yeah.
and will move around and stick a jab out there, which again, there's an art to that, but at the same time, the entertaining factor I feel is not as much as MMA.
Yeah, it was always funny when I was younger because when I was, I guess, maybe high school, junior high, somewhere around there, that's when Mike Tyson showed up.
Mhm.
And I remember the thought process behind buying a pay-per-view when Mike was on it was, that's a lot of money. It's going to last a minute and a half.
Yeah.
But you always bought it because it was the ring entrance.
Mhm.
It was, they put the camera on him in the tunnel before he even comes out, and it actually, the fight was like secondary.
Right.
He was the spectacle, the
main thing,
and that's what drew that in. And even though he maybe fought for 90 seconds,
Yeah.
it was like, man, that was awesome because
Yeah.
it was also a violent 90 seconds. That's awesome. So your next fight, you said November 5th.
November 5th. Yes.
Cowboys.
Cowboys dance hall here.
Who you
in San
fighting against?
Antonio. It's a guy named Riot Waller. So he actually is a former Glory kickboxer.
Okay.
So Glory Kickboxing is, a pretty well-known promotion, and he has a few wins over some ex-UFC guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Glory's huge.
Went to the Glory Kickboxing promotion. So I'm excited for it. I think it's a good fight for me. I am coming off a loss, a 3-round war that I basically had. It won fight of the night, my last fight. And
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get the judge's decision, but if anyone takes that fight or watches it was so much back and forth that I really am excited for this fight because I feel like that win is due. So
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, one more time, tell everybody who you are, where they can find you, and the name of your gym.
Yeah, so my name is Zach Borrego. I go by The Dragon, which is my fight nickname. My gym is DKA. We're the Dojo Karate Academy on the south side of San Antonio. We're right there on Morrison and Gillette, if you're familiar with the area. You can find me on Instagram at ZB_58 or Facebook, my full name, Zachary Borrego, excuse me. And then you can also find my gym's Instagram, which you'll probably see my pages there as well, which is the Dojo Karate.
And if somebody wants to come out and train at your facility, how do they go about that? Just call in.
So
who do they talk to?
We have an actual promotion that we're going to do for this specific podcast. So if you mention the podcast and you come into the gym or give us a call, and I'll give you the number here in a second, but we'll give you half off a 4-month intro course. So regular price is $100. If you mention, hey, I heard this podcast, it'll be $50 for 4 weeks, training twice a week.
Cool,
which
man.
is a great deal.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So
even
you
at
can,
$100, that's a good deal.
Yeah. Very. We know our we would like to be a place that is affordable, that's teaching legit martial arts, but we know we are in the south side of San Antonio, and we want to make sure it's affordable to everyone. Yeah. So we really pride ourselves in trying to keep that at a decent rate, But if you want to add the dojo page on Facebook, the Dojo Karate Academy, shoot us a message. We can get through a hold of you through there, or you can give us a call at 210-927-0669, and we'll be sure to answer. And just tell them, you saw this podcast and get some money off. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time. Anything else you want to share?
No, that's it. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Gino Luna.
Whenever you're ready, man.
All right, so my name is Gino Luna. I own a business called the Culinary Ninja Diet and Podcast. I need to say this. It was recently known as Lion Fit Foods. I had that name for about 6.5 years. We just went through a rebranding process this year, which has been going great, but I changed the name to what I originally wanted to name the business, especially now it goes very conducively to what I do. I'm in the mixed martial arts industry pretty heavily, work with a lot of gyms in our area.
Where do you train out of? Do you train out of here too?
I don't. I train out of Unity MMA.
Okay.
So Unity MMA is down in 1604 281 South. We got our head coach is Ray Rodriguez, UFC vet, tons of fights, tons of credentials. He's an Army veteran.
Okay.
So that's where I train out of. What else was I saying?
So where did the culinary aspect come out?
So all I know is
been a cook?
food and fitness. Yeah.
Okay.
So my whole life has been food and fitness. My first job was a dishwasher at Morton's of Chicago when I was 15 or 16. However old you had to be to get a job back then, when it was $4.25 minimum wage, bro. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 44, right? So
I remember those.
Bro, minimum wage was $4.25 or $4.75 or something.
I think I started at $4.75 somewhere.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So I was busting suds for Morton's while I was going to school.
Gas was also 46 cents.
Dude, I remember when gas was 98 cents. It was right before, I forget if it was Operation Desert Storm or Operation something hit. After that is when it went up. That was in 96 or 97 or some shit like that.
I remember I was in Corpus.
Bro, it was crazy, bro.
I was in Corpus and I was filling up my truck. And I remember looking, it was 98 cents and I was livid. I was like, I don't know who we need to talk to, but this is ridiculous. And now here we are,
bro.
$3.50.
Yeah, $3.50, right? But that's crazy, right? So that I started in the culinary world back then when gas was, I'm gonna say it like that from now on. Back when gas was 98 cents and minimum wage was $4.75, and I was just grateful enough or lucky enough to fall into the hands of a really cool guy here in the city named Andrew Wiseman. He took me under his wing. I started working at a place called Restaurant Le Rev.
Is he a chef?
He is a chef. He's a very amazing chef. He owns what he's most popular for owning now is Mr. Juicy Burger Barn. So everybody knows him as Mr. Juicy. It's over on I-10 in Hildebrand. It's
I
like
would love to get called Mr. Juicy. That's never gonna happen,
bro. This dude runs. This dude runs with that name, bro. Like,
I would too.
He has all these like inappropriate slogans out on his like sign outside. One of his biggest slogans is like next best thing between two buns, or like just ask me and I'll make it wet, because he has this wet poivre. He has an poivre sauce that he pours on the burgers, like a peppercorn sauce. So if you tell him like make my burger wet, he'll put that sauce on the burger, you know what I mean? So like he plays with that shit like crazy, dude. Yeah, exactly.
She's already bookmarked them on her,
dude. Bro,
Yeah.
that's exact. The big green, the lime green building. Yeah, it's dope. I love that guy, man.
That's
so
cool.
I worked with him for forever, for basically my entire culinary career. He sent me all over the place. We did all types of stuff all over the country, whatever. And then after I broke off, I had a couple other stints in the culinary world. Broke off, got into fitness. So food and fitness is legitimately all I've known my entire life. So.
And how long you been doing your podcast?
So the podcast I started a while back. I suck with time frames, man, but I'm gonna say 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
So me and James Leja Jr., or the second, started doing it. They own Leja Boxing here in San Antonio. I call him Rumble. So me and him started a podcast together, and we were doing it with another, out of a buddy of mine, Spot Amos, who owns Famous Juice Company. He has pre-rolls that he had at a place. We were using his place where he was doing his pre-rolls. He would do a podcast there too. So me and James started doing the podcast. It went great, man. We had like cool guests on there. We talked to like Mario Barrios, Dr. Grunberg, like just a bunch of cool people in the city. And then we kind of fell off a little bit. Like our lives started going different ways or whatever. So I just kind of like regurgitated, in a sense, the podcast. And I'm still trying to fine tune it. My goal is I want to do an actual cooking podcast where I'm like cooking with somebody, and we're chopping it up, and then we actually like sit down and have the food. I'm sure you've seen like Brendan Schaub's like Food Truck Diaries. You ever seen that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So where they go to the food truck, they order food, they sit down, they film the podcast while they order from the food truck. But what I want to do is actually like make a quick meal with somebody and then sit down, tear it up real quick, and chop it up at the same time. So I'm really trying to get that aspect of it initiated right now. Right now it's basically just me just saying whatever's on my mind.
Yeah, that's pretty
here
cool.
and there, small segments, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how can people use your culinary services? Are you geared to certain clients, or are you open to everybody?
Yeah, no, I'm open to everybody. We deliver all around San Antonio as well, twice a week to maintain freshness. I cook everything from scratch. I'm a scratch kitchen. So all sauces, we don't open cans, we don't pop open like bags of food, none of that stuff. We make everything from scratch. To maintain freshness, like I said, we deliver twice a week. We have a website. It's theculinaryninja.com. People can follow us on social media. The handle is the same, The Culinary Ninja, on Facebook and Instagram. And my whole goal is to make fun food that like San Antonio favorites, culture favorites, and things that we like to eat, but we feel are super unhealthy, or that we can't eat because they are really unhealthy, and we eat them in mass quantities as opposed to portion controlling, which is the biggest thing people need to focus on, by the way. I try to take those foods and put a healthy spin on them so we can still enjoy food, like enchiladas and stuff like that. I have like lean brisket enchiladas over a broccoli sauteed like broccoli rice this week, right? So just kind of putting a health conscious spin on things.
I see your posts. I see you posting that stuff. It looks amazing.
So that's always been my goal, and it's always been to honestly like to cater and try to help the brown community, man, just eat better, know better, prevent ourselves from like these preventable diseases that we combat on a daily basis, and that we most of the time inherit genetically. So I'm really huge on like I have this whole campaign. I don't know if I can cuss on here or not, but
I have at it, man.
So I have this whole campaign called Fuck Obesity.
Yeah.
Like print up shirts and all kinds of stuff on it, just to kind of generate a buzz, so people can ask me like, "What the fuck?" Trust me, I've had people actually try to fight me over it.
Oh, really?
So they're like, "Bro, why are you wearing that shirt, dog? You don't like big people or what?" I'm like, "No, bro, I'm happy because like
that's starting the conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I said, but if I had a shirt that said "fuck cancer," you'd be like, "Oh yeah, thumbs up, dog."
Sure,
but I say "fuck obesity," and all of a sudden there's something wrong with it. But that's the problem, that there's something wrong with it and nobody's talking about it. So it gives me that opportunity to kind of try. So I try to stay as heavy as I can in that particular realm.
That's awesome, man. You need to let me know anytime you need to clean out the refrigerator.
Yeah. I got you, man. I need to get you some meals so you can try it out.
I'll
see
drive
what's up,
over
man.
right away, man.
Like, I'm on my way, bro. Red alert. Let's go, babe.
I'm already outside your house.
Right? Shit. But yeah, no, man. So that's my goal. Is just to really trying to help the community as much as I possibly can.
Awesome, brother. Is there anything else you want to share?
No, that's not a question you really asked me, man. I'm a talker, bro. I could sit here forever, but
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna give you my card. We'll do a podcast.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm down.
But give people your contact and your social media one more time.
So you can find us at www.theculinaryninja.com, and then our social media handle is the same, The Culinary Ninja. I'm trying to remember, but yeah. And Facebook and Instagram, and then there's a phone number you can send text messages to. It's 210-385-0277.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you for your time.
No, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, my name is Jonathan Martinez. I'm with Unity Training Center. I'm the general manager there. We're a MMA and Jiu-Jitsu school. We're located out in It's in Elmendorf, but across the highway at San Antonio. So we're right on 37 and 1604.
Okay.
We offer Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, MMA, wrestling, ages 4 to 14. And then around the 14 age bracket, we kind of decide if they can come into our adult class. But we have classes available for everyone, really. We have brand new beginners that never have ever done any type of exercise to our professional guys. We have a lot of pros that train there. As a matter of fact, our head instructor, Ray Rodriguez, he's a UFC veteran, a huge MMA icon in the state of Texas, and not just in Texas, but man, the guy's a gem.
That's awesome.
We're very lucky to have him as our head coach. He's the owner, actually.
That's cool. Yeah. And so y'all have all kinds of, I guess you've got young kids and adults, but does somebody typically have to come with a certain amount of experience, or y'all have like a total beginner's class?
No, not at all. We have, so usually what we'll do is we'll accommodate for everybody that comes in. We have, it's funny, sometimes we'll get older people, right, like up in age, maybe like 60, closer to 70.
Really?
Yeah, and they'll be like, hey, man, like I'm just going to start. Anybody. We accommodate everyone.
That's awesome, man.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
there's a lot, it's interesting because there's a lot of, MMA's fairly new. I mean, it's been around for, long enough, but for somebody at that age where it wasn't an option when they were younger, right? And so, but it still appeals to a bunch of people. So that's cool that you're able to bring in folks like that.
Yes, sir.
That's wonderful. When are you, is it 5 days a week, or how does that work? What is y'all's time frame when you actually have classes?
So our regular classes are Monday through Friday. I will say that our schedule is kind of, it's a pretty open schedule. Like we have 6 a.m. classes, lunchtime classes, and of course evening classes.
Okay.
But essentially we're open 7 days a week. Saturday we have our pro sparring session, and Sunday we have what's called an open mat. So on Sundays, we just open the gym. People come in, they can do whatever they want, really. Lift weight. We have a workout area or get some drilling in. Anything they want, really. So we're essentially open 7 days a week.
Okay, so what is your gym? You said you got a workout area. So do you have, because when I kind of think about MMA gyms, I think of open space and mats.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have like weightlifting and other kind of cardio things that people can, I guess, work out on and then get onto the mat? Or?
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah, so we have the essentials. Also, another thing that we have there that helps a lot is Gino from the Culinary Ninja. He does his strength and conditioning. So luckily, he's really good friends with us, and he's kind of passed down a couple workouts that transfer into, like, I think he calls it like combat training. So it really helps a lot.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, but we have the essentials: bench, squat, deadlifts. We have an assault bike. We're getting a rower in. So we have a couple. We have a, what are they called? Amenities, right? We have a sauna in there.
Oh, really? You got a sauna
cool.
too?
Yeah.
That's pretty. I did my first sauna with Evolve, I'm probably about 3 weeks now. First time ever. And I tell you what, it was what is the IR or VR? Not VR, infrared. And so I tell you what, man, I had never. I carry a lot of tension, right? I was so relaxed when I got into that thing. I mean, I was sweaty, but I wasn't sore. I wasn't tight, and I'm a fan now, man.
Yeah, man. There's so many benefits to it,
Yeah.
You can just kind of hang out and kind of beat your mind, right? Then, like, to be in there longer than you think you can, like, there's so many benefits to it.
Well, you know what was cool is I was telling those folks, I said it it really helped me focus. Like I didn't think about other things because I was really hot. I was sweaty. I was in that little kind of range. And so it was really nice to be able to just mentally block all that out, because now I'm focused on my breathing. I'm focused on those kinds of things. And it was definitely a different experience. You know, I've talked to people before about trying to do like what is it called, like a meditation, things of that nature. But that was really meditating. So I mean, if people haven't done asana, do asana, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hello, how are y'all doing?
Hello. Just told him to follow him.
Oh, okay, well, come on in.
Yeah, my bad.
So this is this is one of our fighters, one of our amateur fighters.
Get in.
I was on the cold plunge. I'm sorry.
Oh, were you? That's cool.
Yeah, my I had a pants.
All right, come on.
Come on in.
We're gonna share a microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
There you go.
My bad, OG.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, man, if you like the sauna, man, like he just tried a cold plunge.
Yeah.
I won't.
How'd you
do
like
it?
it? You won't do it cold?
but-
I did the cold too.
Yeah?
And I will admit, it was more painful than what I thought. At my toes. You know, the rest of me wasn't too bad. You know, down in my toes it got real cold. But when I went there, he had multiple tanks, and one was 55, one was I think 39, one was 33. And, you know, when I got there, there's a lot of hot chicks there, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna jump in the 33, and I put my hand in it, and I was like, no way, man.
Yeah.
So then I went to the next one, the 39. No, I went to 55. It was brutal, man. But I will say this: after about 10 or 15 minutes of getting out, felt amazing. You know, you start warming up, your blood starts going to your extremities, and all of a sudden, the pain, you know, the arthritic pain was gone. But I want to get into you in here in a minute, but let's get into the women's MMA class that you're going to have coming up.
Yes, sir. So it's a women self-defense class we're going to be having on October 27th, I believe.
Okay.
It's going to be hosted by Professor Ray. So
this is y'all's first one for this?
For this, yes. For this specifically, yes. So we have our regular women's class every Friday.
Okay.
It's free, completely free to any woman that wants to try it. Every Friday at 6:30 p.m. But this is going to be kind of a separate seminar that Coach Ray is going to be running and doing. It's October 27th. Miss Aurelina Prado is going to be putting it together.
That's awesome.
And yeah, we're just glad to be part of it.
That's cool. Yeah. That's awesome, man. And what day is that again?
October 27th.
And what time?
Can I look at my phone real quick?
Absolutely, man. No, absolutely.
Let me make
I want you to
sure.
get the right information.
Yeah, I'm just going to...
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll
7.
be October 27th. It'll be check-in is at 6:30 and the
Okay.
class starts at 7.
Sweet, man. That's awesome. And did you get in the cold plunge too? No.
She got splashed a little bit.
She got
but
splashed.
I don't know how you got in for 10 minutes. You said you got in for like 5
No,
10 minutes?
no, it was 5. It was 5. That's how lucky.
I was in for 10 seconds and I was done.
So were you in there for 10 seconds?
I couldn't do it.
You know
Oh.
what? And I wonder if these aren't as cold because they're in the plastic bubble.
They're kind of outside.
The other
too.
things in an insulated, it's constantly
Like
bringing that
regular-
water
Constantly
out.
cold.
Yes.
Yeah, so it keeps that temperature. I don't know how you did it for 5. I was in there for 10 and I want to get
You know
out.
how I did it? There was some hot chicks standing
There you
around.
go.
That's
still would've got it for 10.
the only reason I went in that thing.
That'll do it.
So tell me a little bit about what's your name and what you got going on.
Oh, my name is Americo Garcia.
Okay.
From Gordy. And I'm an amateur MMA fighter out of Unity Training Center.
Awesome, man.
Head coach is Ray Rodriguez, and pretty much it.
How long have you been training or been involved in MMA?
MMA, maybe I'm 24, so I started fighting when I was like 19.
Okay.
And I kind of just did kickboxing on the side, and I wanted to get a fight, which was dumb. And I met Ray when I was 21, and then I was from another town. I was from Laredo, Texas.
Okay.
And I moved over to San Antonio just for him.
Oh,
'Cause I
really?
wanted to, yeah, and my girlfriend was pretty close too, so she was there. I brought her over with me, and I wanted to go to San Antonio just to train with these guys. I mean, there was no real MMA schools in Laredo. I mean, there's one, but it's like a kickboxing school, you know. So I went to San Antonio to get some real MMA training, and I've
That's
been here
awesome.
for 3 years, almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
When's your next event?
So my next fight, I'm the main event on October 28th in Victoria, Texas for Texas Clash.
Okay.
I'm fighting for the 125-pound title. I've my last 3 fights, I've won 3 in a row, all by finish. First one was a TKO in the first round. Second one was another TKO in the first round. The last one was a submission in the second round.
That's
And
awesome,
then,
man.
Yeah, we're going for the title for the main event, so it'll be really cool.
Cool.
I'm
Hey,
excited.
pretend like he's not here.
All right.
He's pretty good.
He's good.
That's awesome, man.
It really is.
All right, we can pretend like he's back.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. So it's October 27th, you said?
October 28th. So it's going to be the day after the women's self-defense class.
Oh,
It'll be the
okay,
day
okay.
after, it'll be on a Saturday. And I'll be the main event, so I'll be fighting at nighttime, maybe 11 p.m., 12 p.m. But I think the event starts at 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be the main event. So it's my first main event spot. It'll be exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How were you at in your training? Are you in the meat of it, or when do you guys start backing off to?
So we're about 4 weeks out.
Okay.
On Monday, we're 3 weeks out. So we kind of... There's a point in camp where it just becomes really, really hard, and I hate every day.
Is that where you're coming up on, or?
We're kind of getting the end of that.
Oh, okay.
So at the end of maybe the third week, we'll kind of bring it back, but we're still kind of there. I kind of peak around this time, so I slow it down, and then it's weird. It's a weird thing. It's weird to explain.
So do you find it sounds super interesting because you've got the athlete, right? And through your exposure to the training, you're learning things. But do you find that your body is doing what somebody else is telling you your body's going to do? And is that weird to you? Like when they tell you you're going to peak here, you're going to do this, your body's going to react this way. Is it something that you're familiar with because you've been doing it so long? Or does it still impress you when somebody can say, hey, mid next week, you're going to feel this, and this is why we're going to do X, Y, and Z? Because there's a lot of intelligence that goes into setting up a training camp.
Like a science.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think that it's so weird because that does happen sometimes where they say you're going to feel like this, you're going to feel that, and it happens. But then sometimes they say you're going to feel this and you don't feel it. Yeah. And you kind of panic.
Oh, it scares you.
It scares you that you're not feeling as good as you should, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's the name of the game. That's the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of MMA is literally just it's more of a mental game than anything.
Yeah.
You have to be able to take your worst days and be okay, and then get your best days and still be okay.
Yeah.
You can't be the best all the time. You can't be the worst all the time. So if you have the best day ever and you're beating everybody, you can't go home thinking you're untouchable.
Yeah.
You gotta go back to normal.
That's when you get touched.
Yeah, and then you go back down. But if you have a really bad day, you can't. You can't keep yourself down there. You gotta go in the middle and raise it's like a guy playing a video game and the controller is there. And I'm the guy he's controlling.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. It does feel like that sometimes, but
that's cool, man.
It's so weird to explain. It's hard to explain. When you start doing it, you understand. You start
Yeah.
training a lot, you understand what's going on.
That's pretty cool. Well, anything else you guys want to share? I do want to get y'all's names again, y'all's social media, and the gyms that you train out of.
Yes,
so
sir.
people can hear that at the end, too.
So my name is Jonathan Martinez. I'm the manager at Unity Training Center. You can find us online or on Instagram and Facebook at Unity Training Center. We have... Can I plug in a free trial here?
Absolutely, right, man. Yes. Hey, you do whatever you want.
All right, man. So we have a free trial going on right now. It's 1 week for free.
Okay.
Just let us know that you heard it here, and we'll go ahead and get your free trial set up. It's 1 week for free. You get a chance to try every class that we offer. Then we'll see if you like it and sign you up from there.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
And go ahead and let everybody know your info.
So my name's Medico Gordy Garcia. I'm an amateur MMA fighter at a Unity Training Center. You can find me on Instagram at Medico Gordy Garcia. And then if you want anything else about the gym, Unity Training Center, same thing. I'm on the page. We're all on the page. I really have nothing else to say, but I'm there every single day. So if you guys come to the gym, you're going to see my face there every single day. I'm there Monday through Saturday pretty much, except for Sundays. Sundays are for me and my girlfriend, so we just kind of hang out. But if you want to come, get some really good training in, and meet some lifelong friends, we're there at the gym. And we're always open, and we're open to everybody.
That's awesome.
MMA and jiu-jitsu and grappling, it's for everybody. It's the first. It's not like basketball or like football where you're not that tall, you can't do it, or you're not big enough, you can't do it. Or this is the sport for everybody. Everybody can do this, and I recommend everybody do this. It's awesome. So much fun. You find yourself so much in here, and you find so many friends, and there's so many people to be so nice to you here. Like you're gonna find lifelong friends here, and you're gonna find a big passion for the community too. It's like going to church almost.
Yeah.
Damn, boy.
Only you get to punch somebody in the face.
Yeah. And you get to show your friends, and then your dad gets excited, and then your mom gets excited, and your grandma gets excited, and then they start showing up. And so it's a lot of fun. If you ever want to come to Unity Training Center, we're up on exit 125 off of I-37. We're there every day, every single day. And women's class, she's been telling me on the side. Women's class.
You going to
Friday.
the women's class?
She does a women's class for a whole year. It's free every
Okay.
Friday.
Okay.
Every Friday we have a women's class
Oh.
at 6:30 p.m. Any woman is allowed to go in.
Absolutely free.
Absolutely free. Bring them in, and then what we like to do is a lot of the women that used to go only to women's class, they transition to regular classes now, and that's what we want. That's all we want. We just want more females in to the gym to make it's one big unit. You know, it's not like a male-dominated thing. We just want everybody in there. Everybody's included. It's a sport for everybody, and I think everybody should try it.
Well, good luck on your next fight, and
you.
good luck on your women's event. And man, it was great talking to you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Well, this is exciting. We got Panthers Part 2.
Panthers Part 2, that's right.
So what's going on?
Oh, not much. We got our rest of our players came in today from full Part 2.
Do y'all deliberately recruit the most handsome kids y'all can find?
No, that just happens after we've trained them well.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're handsome.
They go from ugly ducklings to beautiful swans, as you can see.
You know, they always say it takes one to know one.
Yes.
And those kids are handsome.
They are.
So.
They're some good looking kids.
So we have some new coaches.
Yeah, actually we do. This is Coach AJ. Introduce yourself.
I'm Coach AJ. I'm coach of TXP 28.
Okay.
I'm his assistant coach. And this is?
My name is Sparkle. I'm one of the team moms for TXP 28.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you got an important job.
Very.
So you keep everything together.
I do my best to.
Yeah. Well, awesome. So what age group are you running again?
Age group 13 and 14.
Okay.
Yeah, 7th and 8th grade?
7th and 8th grade.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's where the three of us are on the same staff.
What got you
Same
involved
team.
with these guys?
Well, actually, my son, he's in the 5th grade. He's 10 years old. We call him Deuce.
Okay.
I actually was looking to put him on an AAU
We see you, Deuce.
team.
Don't look away. We see you, Deuce.
I was looking to put him on an AAU team where I wanted to get him to get the concept of not just the game of basketball, but to learn about teamwork, just to become a better person on and off the court.
Sure.
To teach him about ethics, hard work, and the minute I met Coach Smith and his organization, it's been nothing but that. He's been playing with them for a couple of months, and I've already seen the growth, not just on the court, but off the court,
Yeah.
confidence-wise, skill-wise, just his overall personality is growing.
Yeah.
So it's been an amazing experience for me, and I know he wakes up every single time on Tuesday and Thursday when we have practice, like ready to go. So it's been really exciting. Like
That's
to see
awesome.
him develop, and the team, most importantly, to embrace him.
What has been your most fun as your role in the whole deal?
As his mom, because I've worked with him, he's been playing pretty much since he was younger.
Okay.
But of course, I'm mom, so he only listens to so much.
Hey, does your mom have game? She's pretty good. All right.
He listens to me so
Good
much,
answer.
so it's good to see where I can actually step back and let the coaches do their thing with him. I just get to be the mom now. And,
That's awesome.
And enjoy him while he develops.
Very cool. Very cool. So, what are some of the I guess aspects of being a team mom? What are some of the most difficult things that you got to do with these guys?
Well, actually, I haven't had any problems as of yet.
No.
Yeah, no.
Everybody's respectful and kind.
Absolutely. Coach Smith, he expects
That's
it.
good.
And
Yeah.
all of the boys are very respectful. Like I said, it's not just on the court, off the court. They hold the same ethics, and they're all good kids.
Yeah.
You can tell their ethics, their morals, everything on and off the floor. They're about teamwork and doing the right thing. Most importantly.
That's awesome. So we talked a little bit earlier about how important sport is for young men to grow up in and young women. How important? I mean, it's obviously important to you guys because you've instilled it.
Mm-hmm.
But how much of a sense of pride do you get out of seeing a young man doing well? You know, it's interesting because we look at young men and we want to teach them certain things. We want to raise them a certain way, and a lot of that doesn't. I don't know. It gets conveyed right away to the young men. That is for you in the future. That's for the future you. You know, the things you guys build in these young men and women is for you currently, but it's also for you in the future because when you can grow up with that mentality, it makes you easier to work with as an adult. It makes you. I like that in team sports, you get that interaction of what does somebody else need from me? Right. So you start to lose that me mentality, and it turns into the we mentality, and that carries on forever. I mean, right now you guys, when we were younger, we thought this is it, this is everything, But then you get to your 30s and your 40s, and
You realize you don't know nothing.
you didn't know anything, and it's so funny because when I was I think I was 26. My dad was a nightmare. Oh, my dad spanked me. My dad got after me. I was the youngest, and I was a little brat. So in hindsight, I deserved all those things.
When'd you figure that out?
Back when I was 26. So I called him when I was 26, and I had just had a conversation with a buddy of mine who was having a hard time with his son. And I called my dad, and I said, hey, thank you. And he said, for what? I said, all that time that I thought you were just riding me hard, you were giving me a hard time, you were making me miserable, you didn't let me do the things that I was wanting to do. In hindsight, I was like, I appreciate that now. In hindsight, it makes sense because now that I was 26, so I was an adult, it made my interactions with other people so much easier. Even when they were unreasonable.
That's funny because I did the same thing at 26. I called my mom. I was sitting on the balcony of my apartment, and I called her up and I said, hey, I just want to say thanks. She goes, what for? I said, all the times you rode me, all the times you made me do the things I didn't want to do. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And she was like, wow, what happened? Nothing.
Well, what's crazy is life's easier when you build character as a young man.
Right.
When you decide to build character as a grown man, it's a lot harder.
It's a lot harder because by then it's too late. You've already got your dirty habits and you can't let go of them.
Yeah. And another thing that I tell my nephews is they're decent. Some of them are less decent. They know who they are. But it's funny because the way they interact with folks outside of sports, the house, when all that stuff carries over, the way they interact with people is it's so important because there's times that somebody may say, hey, Gabe did X, Y, and Z. But I've always presented myself well and respectful and kind to people. It's amazing how many people outside of my family will tell you, you're a liar. He ain't like that. I know him. He doesn't do that. And it carries a lot of weight. One thing that sports instills are all these little aspects and these character traits that we learn and we grow with. But the important thing is acquiring respect from other people to a degree that they don't question your character.
Right, exactly.
And so that's why I love what you guys do, because there's so many times where some kids might get some attention from somewhere, some get a little less, some get a little more. But when it comes to competitiveness and it comes to you guys running on the court, it comes to you guys, competing against people, everybody's doing the same thing, and that's where that unity builds and trust. It always comes back to trust. Trust, it takes a lifetime to acquire. It takes minutes to lose. So when you can learn to be a trustworthy person, and not only that, but when you can identify a trustworthy person, it teaches you, hey, this guy's cool. I get him. He makes sense. I respect him.
We've got a number of examples standing behind us right now of where they used to be and where they are today.
Yeah.
And these young men are incredible.
That's awesome.
And we're all very proud of them because they came in, they were either shy or they had I issues. Now they don't have those things anymore. They're confident. They get on the court. They play. They do what do the things that they're supposed to do as a team or just as an individual player. But coming together, they're monstrous.
It's awesome.
Absolutely monstrous. And as you can see, extremely respectful.
Yeah. These guys have been great. I mean,
these are great young men, and I look forward, and I'm proud of each and every one of them because I've seen them all, especially these two gentlemen right here.
Yeah.
Right? He's our gentle giant, but when he's on the court now, he is absolutely phenomenal.
That's awesome.
He was our MVP last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know what's cool about that is there's a guy that's I like listening to from time to time, and he has a quote, and he said something to the effect of, I think he was referring to young men, but in general, he says you need to learn how to become a monster, but you need to learn how to control that monster.
Yep.
And so that's the important thing, is being able to say, hey, when I'm not in a competitive arena, I'm a good dude. When we're in a competitive arena, I'm still good and respectful, but let's turn the monster on.
I got a job too.
Yeah, so that's
Yep,
awesome, man.
exactly.
You know what's funny is all these guys back here, you just made good claims toward them. And it's funny because when I'm looking at them, they're all making eye contact. They're all paying attention. And it's funny because I've talked to my nephews before. You know, my brothers had kids when I was young, so I kind of grew up with them. And it's funny because I've had nephews that aren't so great at the eye contact or the communication. And I always tell them, I'm like, look, you guys need to learn how to make eye contact. You need to learn how to communicate, because one day when you go get a job or you go for a job interview, having those communication skills are critical.
Yes.
You know, if 3 guys show up and their resume is exactly the same, they're going to go with the guy that can hold a conversation, can make eye contact, because they're going to say, hey, if I need to have him talk to a client, he can do it.
Is he going to give him the eye contact? He's
Yeah.
going to look him in the eye and be honest and truthful and
Yeah.
talk to them in a way that they need to be spoken to.
I work at an engineering firm, and it's weird because a lot of those guys are good at math, so they aren't so good at the social aspect.
Right.
And so it's interesting to see how my boss will ask me and another guy to call somebody, but they won't the other guy. And I'll tell you what, I don't have a degree. I went into an industry that I should have had a degree, but I didn't do it because I was being lazy. And now I'm old and I'm paying for it. But
I did the same thing.
But you know, I've always been able to give attention, give respect, and have a dialogue with people. And so being able to call somebody, a client out of the blue, talk to them about things, it carried a lot of weight at work. And you know, in the grand scheme of things, sports is amazing. The thing Renee puts on here, Renee's talked about how the reason he does this is because you get to a certain age where those avenues of having competitive sports are less, right? You graduate high school, you may go to college, you may go into a professional sport, but by the time you hit 30, you're still young, but you start to lose those opportunities to compete, you know? And so that's the cool thing about what Renee's trying to put on here, is he's trying to give people an opportunity to go, hey, this is pretty cool. Let me try and get into that and continue being competitive as an older adult. And so that's something that carries a lot of weight with folks, because you start to lose that. You start to lose that camaraderie.
Right.
You know, you guys are a team. A lot of the people that I've talked to today, their team is the gym, you know? And it's real similar to you guys, where you guys are on Panthers, you're a family. This is what you are doing together. There's different age groups, different levels of competition. Same thing for those guys. They've got, you know, different ages, different capacities, but these gyms are, you know, they're all the same. We're a family. We're a team. We take everybody. And having that little bit of community outside of everything else you have going on, it's a safe haven, man. It's beautiful.
Sports is not just sports. Sports is support.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you go to get rid of all the day-to-day nonsense in your head, any kind of family troubles you have, any, you know, IRS breathing down your throat, or
Sure.
whatever the case may be. You can go
Wife
to the gym
wanting
and
you to take
sweat.
the trash outside.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all wait to get married, guys.
Yeah.
Y'all wait. Don't rush into that.
Don't rush, yeah.
Trust me. And if
But-
her daddy has a swimming pool, don't do it, because it wasn't worth it. But y'all go ahead.
But anyway, as you said, we are the Texas Panthers. We can be reached at the txpanthers.org. You know a lot about our organization, how
Yeah.
we carry what we do at this organization. It's not just about basketball. It's about life lessons. And it's not for us, not for the adults, not for the coaches or the team moms or anybody else or any member of the staff. It's for these young men and young women that we have coming in and enjoying the opportunity to grow together, make lifelong friendships, if that's still possible to be done today. And because not everyone is going to get to the higher levels that they want to be. Some may just stop at a certain level and drop off. Others may go further. But nonetheless, those same life lessons are the same lessons they're gonna always carry with them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And if we reach just one to do that, we've done our job.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Right now, I think we got 6. So yeah.
One more time, give people your contact info because I want them to. I want them to specifically hear.
Roger that. Contact our website is www.txpanthers.org. That's txpanthers.org. Go on. There's more contact information on there. There's more information about the organization. Give us a call. Send us a text or send us a info reply, and we'll definitely get back to you. And boys, girls, 3rd grade to 10th grade, bring them. We will train them. They will enjoy. You will enjoy it. And we hold our parents accountable as well, too. So it's going to be a good time for everybody.
Are y'all following Deion Sanders?
Absolutely. Yes, we are.
I love Deion.
Yeah.
One of the things that he says a lot, and I love that he says it. He says a lot of cool stuff. But one of the things that he says, and I believe that he believes a lot of what he's saying, a lot of times it's Deion being Deion. But one of the things that I love that he says is he says, send me your kid and I'll send you back a man.
Yep, exactly.
And to me, that's where the line's at. That's out of everything else, out of ups and downs, being able to develop young men. That's what it's all about.
I say a lot, no work, no reward. And that's how life is.
Yeah.
You don't put in the work, you can't get anything out of it.
Sure.
Nothing is for free.
Sure. Well, thank you guys. We'll get the kids in here.
All right. Okay.
You want to grab a? I think we grabbed 4 chairs last time.
Yeah.
Might have a couple to stand.
Yeah.
You may have a couple guys stand behind. We got one more chair. Bring it up. And Torian, right here.
Yeah, scoot down.
And Deuce, you can stand
Yeah,
right
let me see.
Hey, come on here.
Stand right here.
Like right here.
Mic check.
And we'll stand behind you guys.
They got everybody? Come on. Let me see if I can get y'all a little tight. Since it's so close, we gotta get y'all super close. All right, that'll work. So the guys on the end, y'all have to speak in that direction and then roll out. Cool? So what are y'all's names? And I want you to say it again. Everybody's name who was here earlier, say it again. So let's start with whichever side.
My name is James Mayo.
My name's Antonio Rosales.
My name is Takori Dotson.
My name is Tyree Gilmore.
My name is Torian Lawson.
My name is Christopher Burns.
Nice. So let me ask you this. What are some of the, in your opinion, you've heard us talk a lot about character and young men. To you guys, what is something that you feel like you've acquired out of being a Panther while playing the sport outside of this sport? Or do you feel like you've acquired something as far as your character or maybe things that you see, maybe not necessarily things that you do differently now, but maybe you see things differently that you haven't quite made that character change? What are some things that you guys have experienced that you think is transcended basketball through this program?
You learned a lot of morals and values. Always how to respect your opponent. Got a lot of life lessons on and off the court, and just become better young men in general.
It's kind of hard at times in it to do those things, especially when you're playing a sport that's very passionate and competitive, and sometimes that's not reciprocated, right? Sometimes you're trying to give those things to an opponent and you're not getting it back. But that's to me a test of where am I at in my character? Can I continue to be the guy that I am while being treated unsportsmanlike by this other guy? Do you run into that?
Yes, a lot.
Yes, sir.
How do you deal with that? Just focus?
Focus.
Keep going back to the things you guys were taught?
Yes, sir.
That's cool. What is I guess when you guys go to different arenas or different facilities to play, is there ever a time that you don't feel prepared, or do you feel like you guys are always ready to roll?
We're always ready. As long as we're with our team, we feel like we can beat anybody we play against, and anybody we go against.
That's awesome. Do I just love these guys?
I think we do. We're gonna have to go catch some games.
Yes, definitely. We'll have to come check you guys out. So is there anything else you guys want to share? Anything you guys want to talk about or feelings that you have about maybe the sport or maybe your ambitions? What do you guys want to do with basketball? College?
Trying to take it to the next level.
Next level? And is that college or are we looking straight pros?
We look at straight pros.
Straight pros? Wait, well, you know,
College first.
Yeah, college is good. But I will say this. I would love for all of you guys to make it to a professional level. It'd be more important to me, just in meeting you now, that you make it to the college level. But I will say this. When you guys do make it to the professional level, it's going to be the things you've learned with these folks at this age that's going to carry you through those years. You know, when you get older, when you get more popular, when you get more money, more status, there's more people coming after you because they want free things. They want to take that ride with you without having to put in the work, you know. So always remember that when you're fixing to take the ride, only bring the people who did the work with you because everybody else, they weren't there for the tough stuff.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, fellas. And we're going to get y'all scheduled, man, because I want to come see some games.
Okay.
And my wife's loud, so I appreciate you, fellas.
Sure you get that scheduled for the Friday night game.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And thank you, guys. Good luck. Good luck the rest of the season.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That
Go
way you
Panthers.
gotta do your,
Hey, yeah, we got to do
send
the...
off or-
You going to give them the Go Panthers?
Hey, on me. Hey, on me.
On you.
Hey, Panthers on 3, family on 6. 1, 2, 3.
Panthers.
4, 5, 6.
Nice. Thank you, guys. Hey, you've been watching the Gabe Molina podcast out of the Battle of the Alamo City in San Antonio, Texas. We had a great time today. A lot of cool events, a lot of cool people. Talked to some really neat vendors, and hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks for listening to the Gabe Molina podcast.